When the playoffs began, it was obvious the games meant a little bit more. Every trip down the floor could mean a momentum swing or a turf war. Reputations were questioned, others were established. Not even the mild-mannered were immune from the heightened emotions. We're coming at you with our playoff swan song. I think you know the words. I can name that tune in 2 notes. A glittering start to our playoff finale on TNT. Game 3 of the Houston-Utah series coming up in just a few minutes. Ernie Johnson in Atlanta. At this point, there are head coaching vacancies in Portland, New Jersey, and in L.A. with the Clippers. Now the question, is Duke's Mike Krzyzewski a fit for one of those jobs or another opening if it comes up? The Herald-Sun of Durham, North Carolina has reported that Coach K has been upset over some academic difficulties his players have had recently. Krzyzewski released a statement today confirming that he is looking at other coaching opportunities. However, it has nothing to do with his players' academic performance. The Herald-Sun also reports that Krzyzewski has been recruited this week by NBA Commissioner David Stern for a coaching position in the league, but Stern is adamantly denying that report. In fact, an NBA spokesman says the commissioner can't recall speaking with Krzyzewski for at least 6 months. Well, it was exactly 29 weeks ago that Dick Versace sat here with me for opening night of the NBA season. Tonight we close out our playoff coverage with the Rockets and the Jazz, Game 3. In our pregame show, before this pregame show, we talked about Houston responding to what the writers had said about choking and all that. Utah's got a situation. Larry Miller kind of lost it during that Denver series and let Karl Malone have it. Is there a wound there that is going to heal or may not heal?
Well, we're going to find out about that later, but my spin on what happened between Game 6 and Game 7 is that Karl Malone's reaction was that he got mad, and took it out on Denver. That really, got him through the 7th game and into the finals.
Now, what's going to take him past Houston?
Well, that's a taller order because the unstoppable Hakeem Olajuwon is truly unstoppable. I mean, that's not a term that you use for too many players, a Jordan, a Magic and people like that. He's really unstoppable. They have tried every trick in the books in Game 1 and Game 2. Game 3 should be quite interesting.
Isaiah Thomas says he's 2 guys, Hakeem and Olajuwon. Dick and I will be back at halftime to wear out the telestrator, but coming right up, Hakeem and the Rockets take their 2-zip lead to the Delta Center. Karl Malone and the Jazz trying to get right back in this thing. Houston and Utah next.
The NBA playoffs on TNT are brought to you by Budweiser. Beechwood Age for a crisp, clean, classic taste. By the Chrysler Corporation and its divisions. And by AT&T, the official telecommunications company of the NBA.
With this 4-cylinder, 16-valve engine, I'm moving. But whatever I do, it's got to be funky.
It's gonna be good. It's got to be funky. It's gonna be good. It's got to be funky.
Whoa!
Neon, $89.75 for Star orders, 12.5, nicely loaded.
At your local True Value, finding someone to help you isn't a problem. Something that just can't be said of those enormous hardware warehouses.
Find them, boys!
Get Rubbermaid's 2-gallon watering can for just $2.57 and Coleman's cooler combo for only $9.99 at True Value. True Value. Help is just around the corner.
So what's all this about the Insta Pump? Listen up, this is extreme. Shaq 7'1", 300 pounds. Over the course of a season, he probably leaves the Empire State Building about 17 times. Why? We don't know. That's velocity for you. Velocity will get you everywhere. Talk about tour, talk about technology, talk about the Insta Pump. Grip it, feel it. How far is this going to take him? He's going to go places, to the moon, to the finals, to his mother's, to dinners. The Insta Pump, all things must change. Every year is a leap year on Planet Reebok. That's Reebok spelled INSTAPUMP MVP.
It's a major breakthrough in auto protectant technology. Formula 2001 Super Protectant. It provides a more brilliant, longer-lasting shine than Armor All on vinyl and leather. And look, in the Arizona desert, Formula 2001 brought back the shine to UV-faded vinyl. Rubber, even leather. Get the new standard in automotive protectant technology. Formula 2001, with 50% more active shining ingredients than Armor All. Get Formula 2001 products today.
With Doug Collins, this is Bob Neal from the Delta Center in downtown Salt Lake City, where the Utah Jazz are glad to be home. They trailed the Houston Rockets 2-0 on the trip to Texas. Utah was not treated with much hospitality. The Houston Rockets have been all world. They've been almost a dream, you might say. Give me a thumbnail of why Houston has dominated so much in the first 2 games.
Bob, their inside-outside game has been flawless in the first 2 games. And you talk about Hakeem Olajuwon. He's had a sensational series, 36 points a game. He comes off a 41-point game the other night. They needed every one of those points. Karl Malone has played very well, but Olajuwon's plus 10 in that matchup. And then the 3-point field goal shooting, 18 to 3, 19% to 42%, plus 45 points from the 3-point line in 2 games. I don't know whether the Jazz feel like that Houston can continue to shoot like that, but that's been phenomenal under pressure.
Now, Rudy Tomjanovich comes in here with his team from Houston, and they're walking tall, they're swaggering, they're feeling good. What do you tell them if you're Rudy?
Comfort level. Guys, let's not get too comfortable. Let's not fall in love with this 2-0 lead. In the first series, they did that against Portland. Portland's energy won Game 3. Rudy is very happy about the game plan. He's very happy about the inside-out attack and what they're doing. He's worried that Utah will win the battle of the energy tonight and get the loose balls and get on the boards and do a better job rebounding.
And speaking of Utah, Jerry Sloan, I get the feeling from talking to you and Jerry Sloan that they maybe need to play a nearly perfect game tonight.
Well, Bob, you think about it. In Game 1, they were down 20 at halftime. We talked about the points off turnovers. They came back in Game 2. They turned it over 8 times for only 5 points. But still, it was a 3-point shooting. Jeff Hornacek has only got 1 3-point attempt. They are paying so much attention to him, so they've got to rebound the ball tonight. That was really the difference. Keep the turnovers low, but minus 19 on the boards in Game 2.
Well, they're getting ready to rock and roll here at the Delta Center in Salt Lake City. They've got the stars out, Stockton and Malone, and Hakeem, the Dream, Olajuwon. After this timeout, Doug and I will be back to the Delta Center. Stay with us.
It's a round world, genuine and true. It keeps on spinning and you always come through. And you're giving it your best. Proud to be your bud. Budweiser. Proud to be your bud. Proud to be your bud. Ooh, yeah. Proud to be your
21-piece Lucky Bucket.
Even the best gasolines leave deposits in your fuel system, causing all kinds of problems.
Lucky chicken.
The Lucky Bucket 21-piece.
But now there's new Slick 50 fuel system formula. 10 times more powerful than the leading gas treatment. It cleans your entire fuel system, restoring power and performance. Get new Slick 50 fuel system formula.
Yeah.
Everything must change. Nothing stays the same. There are not many things in life you can be sure of.
Collins with you from the Delta Center, and as Doug said, it's almost like Pavlov's theory here. Very quiet crowd. All of a sudden they say, welcome to the Delta Center, and the place explodes. The Jazz have just been introduced. The Houston Rockets on a roll. They have won 6 of their last 7 after losing those 2 at home to Phoenix.
Well, these are what the statistics after the adversity of losing the first 2 home games are. +9 scoring. Look at the field goal percentage for the opponents, the 3-point field goal percentage for the Rockets. More importantly, look how they've identified with the 3-point shooters. Marley 5 for 25. Hornacek only 1 look at the 3-point line in 2 games.
And for Utah, on the other hand, they got out ahead of Denver 3 games to none, and since then, look what's happened.
Ever since Reggie Williams hit the shot that forced 3 extra games, they're 1-5. Points are down 8 a game. Field goal percentage down 3. 3-pointers down from 33% to 22%. Is fatigue a factor? This home crowd will play a major role in the Jazz if they're able to win this game tonight.
At the Delta Center, it is another sellout, one of the more beautiful facilities in the NBA in downtown Salt Lake City. It's time for the Chrysler Plymouth starting lineups, and it is the same starting lineup that we have seen in games number 1 and 2. Spencer with his hands full with Olajuwon, Maxwell and Smith, and of course we'll see Cassell and Ellie off the bench, Hornacek and Stockton and Jay Humphries, who will be a very big factor in the game off the bench for the Jazz. Rudy Tomjanovich, what can you say with the job he's done with Houston? He came there and has really taught this team to believe in themselves and communicate with the players. Jerry Sloan, an aw shucks kind of guy, but he's a lot brighter than he will give you the impression when you talk to him and he says, oh, I'm just an old farm boy from southern Illinois. And the mailman is ready to meet Hakeem Olajuwon as this game is just moments away from getting underway at the Delta Center. Hakeem, of course, in game number 2 in Houston was presented with the Most Valuable Player trophy from Commissioner David Stern, and in what I thought, Doug, was a very touching moment, he took the trophy and asked his teammates to all get their hands on it.
Absolutely. Now, Bob, early in this game, we need to keep our eye on Jeff Hornacek. Slightly twisted an ankle in game 2. And Karl Malone rolled his ankle over in game 2. We'll check him out. And he's also had a touch of the flu. Did not come to shoot around today.
Talking about Karl Malone, the mailman, there's the tip going to Kenny Smith of the Houston Rockets, up 2 games to none. Game 3 Western Conference Finals.
Rockets always start out every game with the same play, trying to get it to Olajuwon on a little back screen from Vernon Maxwell.
12 on the shot clock. The ball will belong to Houston. Vernon Maxwell will inbound. Horry has it stripped by John Stockton. Look at the pass. David Benoit from John Stockton.
See, I think that's very important for David Benoit to get a basket here early, get himself involved. He could be such a major factor in this game at the small forward position. Oh, he walked. Got away with that one.
Vernon Maxwell answers. It's tied at 2.
Looked like Hakeem jumped to pass the ball, came down and then made the pass. Maybe he just got up on his toes and really didn't leave the floor, but looked like it traveled.
It's like Michael Jordan. He has so many moves, it's hard to tell sometimes. Stockton off the baseline curl. Benoit has 4 points. He's only averaging 6.9 in the playoffs.
You give a guy an easy layup to get the game started, and they start looking more confident from the perimeter. We saw a very confident-looking stroke from David Benoit.
Vernon Maxwell off a baseline screen, and he'll take it back into the paint. Karl Malone looks like he's got a tender ankle after the rebound. We'll keep our eye on that. He twisted it in Game 2 in Houston, as Doug told you a moment ago.
Yeah, he really came down on one foot and sort of hopped before he put that other ankle down to the ground.
Remember, he's been sick, too, this practice. Into Otis Thorpe. The ball taken away. He'll put it right back up. Not this time. Rebound, Ramadori. Jazz 4-2. Hakeem. John Stockton sets it up with 15 on the shot clock. 9:52 to go, quarter number 1. 8 on the clock. 4.
Oh, what a pass.
To Felton. Spencer got a new shot clock. Got the offensive boards. He looked like Moses Malone for a moment.
Well, 1 for 3 from the field, but 2 rebounds for Felton Spencer. So the rebounding will be up tonight.
Jazz 6, Rockets 2, 9:23 to go in the first. Hakeem looking for his first points.
Here comes a double up on from Benoit.
Thorpe has it stripped by Karl Malone. That's a patented defensive move by Malone, stripping that ball when it gets waist level and below.
What they're going to do tonight, the Jazz are going to try to come from the baseline side rather from the top to double team Olajuwon, give him a little bit different look. Maybe we'll change his shooting and looks at the basket.
6-2 Jazz, shot clock to 3. The lob inside to 2. The foul first.
Subtle little thing there. John Stockton at the three-point line. A little fake just to make Thorpe think he was coming out to shoot the shot. So Thorpe bites on it. You had the mismatch. He drops it in, and Kenny Smith has to give the foul. So subtle little fake set things up for you in basketball.
So you're saying his assists come from more than just giving it to Malone?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Off the curl, Hornacek.
Didn't get squared, was floating going to the left that time. You can see it, he was right in our line of vision.
Vernon Maxwell's very quick on the baseline, denied by Hornacek. Into Thorpe. Jammed in the face of David Benoit. It is 6-4. It's tough to stop Vernon Maxwell when he wants to drive the baseline. They did that time.
Well, you know, to me, Vernon Maxwell has the ability to create. I think sometimes he falls in love with that three-point shot. We saw in game 2, I guess, or game 3 in Phoenix when he took it to the basket. He had 31 in the second half.
John Stockton faces up, gets the good look, and gets the hoop. 8-4 Jazz. Kenny Smith sees a opening, misses the tip. It's going to be Houston ball.
Well, they're very upset. They felt Olajuwon over the back, and I would have to agree with them. He really looked like he rode in there hard to get that offensive rebound. No call, and the Rockets will maintain possession of the basketball with a new clock.
Olajuwon spins in the middle, and he draws the foul. They have to get that double team on him quickly and hard.
They came down the other night and they gave him a gap with which to spin between the double team. So the Jazz are going to mix it up a little bit more tonight, try to take the middle away from him, force him to spin back baseline and then come at him from the baseline side. That time he went so quickly the double team was not a factor.
Off to a slow start tonight. You saw 13 was his lucky number in game 2. He had 13 rebounds and was 13 of 13 from the line. He misses his first one here and gets the second one.
Bob, I thought it was funny as we were walking over the game tonight. All these Jazz said, "Now be fair to us, tonight. You gave Olajuwon too much credit the other night." I said, "He had 41 points. If they guard him tonight, we'll do that for you." So a little sensitive to our broadcasting.
8-5 Jazz. Stockton into the chest of Maxwell. Illegal defense to call from Jack Nees. Our officials are Joe Crawford, Jack Madden, and Jack Nees tonight. That's the first call. It'll be a warning. New shot clock. Sideline out of bounds. .7:34 to go, first quarter. Jazz by 3. Slow scoring so far with nearly half the period gone.
Well, that's the tempo that Utah wants to play. They want to play about a 95-point game, maybe 100 maximum at home.
Hornacek with the foul on Vernon Maxwell.
You know, one of the things that we have not talked much about is Vernon Maxwell's defense. And he played Marley in the Phoenix series, and he did a wonderful job of shadowing him at that three-point line and taking that shot away. He's got a little more quickness than Hornacek, and he's doing a good job of disrupting his rhythm coming off those screens.
To shoot, down to Hakeem Olajuwon from Maxwell.
There's the baseline screen.
They stopped it. He has to shoot the fadeaway jumper. Working early. Hakeem 0 for 3. Benoit! Windmill jam. He has 6. Timeout, Houston.
Who's going where? The 1994 NBA Draft. Live Wednesday, June 29th on TNT.
With this 4-cylinder 16-valve engine, I'm moving. But whatever I do, it's got to be funky.
Neon, $89.75 for starters, $12.5 nicely loaded.
3-1. Here's Weber in the open court. Oh, brother. What a move by Weber.
And the Sixers take over on the turnover. Julius. 82-80. Tried the long, wild hook shot.
And here come the bricks on the break. Horace credit over to Hakeem Olajuwon, who throws up a prayer. I love this game.
The real story, the legend, and the rebels who ride. Harley Davidson, the American motorcycle. Coming Thursday, June 2nd. Hey, we're giving away 2 awesome Harleys. But if you want to win, you better watch. Sponsored in part by Domino's.
Olajuwon's 0 for 3 early as Utah tries to defense the dream.
Bob, when you play post defense, you play it before the man gets the ball. And look at Felton Spencer trying to deny position to Olajuwon where he wants to get it. You're working. We stop it right here. Look, instead of getting the post position down here, he has forced him up about another step up on the floor. Now you say, what is a step? A step means you might be 0 for 3 as opposed to 2 for 3. You take a guy off his spot and you make him uncomfortable. The double team comes down. Now you get it back to him. Clock is winding down. And now look at the shot you force him to take. Hits the corner of the board. Utah 6-3 in rebounding and 6-0 on fast break points. Good sign. Those are all energy statistics if you're Jerry Sloan.
10-5 Jazz, 6:49 to go, first quarter. Kenny Smith gets the pick from Thorpe. Olajuwon out at the high post now. Horry into Thorpe. Nice play coming off the timeout.
You know what they've done now twice? They run screen roll with Thorpe and either Maxwell or Horry. Horry not known for creating that kind of play, but beautiful pass. Thorpe with 2 dunks here in the first quarter.
Jazz by 3. Spencer. Blocked by Olajuwon. That's his 3rd block. Malone. Rebound. It is Thorpe.
Now, Karl Malone's gotten off to slow starts in both first quarters of the games in Houston. Tonight, 0 for 3. The other night, he was 0 for 4 and 0 for 2 from the line. And in game 1, he was 2 for 9 in the first half and shot 7 for 7 to finish at 9 for 19. So this is not unusual for him to get off to a slow start.
Felton Spencer called for his first personal. He had 5 fouls. He had 4 relatively early in game number 2, so we'll, of course, keep track of that. There's that baseline spin. Back out again, and Olajuwon is 0 for 4. Jazz by 3, nevertheless.
See, they're really going to Spencer. They're trying to make Olajuwon play defense so he can't roam so much.
Stockton missing the 3, Olajuwon with the rebound. Well, he has played defense, 3 blocks already. That's what happens when you take it down there.
John Stockton now 1 for 15 from 3 in the playoffs, and his one shot was sort of a Hail Mary at the end of the game the other night to put him up 3.
Felton Spencer gets the 3-point miss. Stockton. Stutter dribble. Went right, crossed over to his left, and he will go to the free throw line. Kenny Smith with the foul. His second early, so we'll probably see somebody off the bench pretty quickly here for Houston to fill in for Kenny Smith with 2 early fouls.
Well, Sam Cassell will be stepping in, and he did not have a good game in game 2. Might have been his poorest game in the playoffs in a long time. He was 0 for 3 from the floor in 18 minutes with 2 turnovers. See, the one thing about Stockton, Bob, what he always does is he continually puts pressure on the defense. He will drive the ball up the floor. He will look to penetrate. If it's not there, he will pull the ball back out and get you into your offense. So he does not settle for just bringing the ball up the floor to run your attack. He's always going to put the pressure to see if he can get in the gaps and get to the basket.
First team All-NBA point guard, dream team point guard, John Stockton, 31 years old. Cassell with the penetration. Came away with a loose ball, too. Horry standing out at the 3-point line. Cassell didn't see him. He gets the ball, 4 to shoot. Takes it right back in. Maxwell with 2 on the clock. That's a 3.
That'll just kill you. A broken play. And, you know, when we talked to Jerry Sloan today, remember he said the one thing he's worried about is the dribble penetration has really created the 3-point shots. They've got to square guys up and not get beat off the dribble so you don't have to help so much.
So Cassell comes in, doesn't turn it over. Malone gets it past Olajuwon, who was going for his 4th block, and gets the assist. 1 for 4 now is Karl Malone. It is 14-10 Jazz. The path is open to the basket. Cassell has it blocked by Benoit. Stockton. Hornacek. Houston foul.
Utah running at home. That's what happens. When you go on the road, you play a possession game. When you get at home, you try to run at every opportunity. The Jazz are only averaging 92 points a game in the playoffs. If they can get some fast break opportunities, maybe they can get to 100 tonight.
Rudy Tomjanovich called for the technical. The personal is on Maxwell.
Jeff Hornacek is in the playoffs, in 14 games, he's been to the line 52 times, made 48, so he's 92%. So look for him to shoot the technical and then the other 2, so maybe he could 3 quick points here for his team.
Rudy Tomjanovich early onto the officials. Joe Crawford, Jack Madden, and Jack Deese. I told you the personal was on Vernon Maxwell. Jeff Hornacek, the pride of Lyons Township High School, LaGrange, Illinois.
Saw his family coming into the game tonight. They have to be very excited about Jeff being here in Utah and the opportunity to play for a world championship if they can get by Houston. See Humphries into the game. Remember what a big lift he gave the Jazz the other night. He allowed Stockton to get some rest. He came off the bench, shot 5 for 9, had 11 points, 2 assists, 3 rebounds in 24 minutes. If they can get that effort out of Jay Humphries tonight, then you get Hornacek and Stockton some rest. So come that 4th quarter when you have to make your push, your guards are well rested.
Always the question of the tendonitis in the right knee for Jay Humphries, whether it's loose or whether it's tight. We'll know momentarily. 17-10 Jazz, 4:09 to go, first quarter.
Now you see the matchup. Humphries playing Cassell the other night. That matchup was not there for them. Look at the shot by Horry.
Robert Horry catches and banks it off the glass. Not much athleticism there.
Bob, remember now in game 2 the other night when Cassell was playing Humphries, they went to a lot of isolations for him to play one-on-one basketball.
Hornacek. Lost out of bounds off the hands of Malone. It will belong to Houston. Jazz by 5. go, first quarter. Olajuwon with no field goals so far in this game.
Good double up.
Horry.
Oh, he's got off to a terrific start. Robert Horry's made a nice pass. He's made a nice shot. He's had a dunk. He's done yeoman's work here in this first quarter. Both he and Benoit have both gotten off to good starts.
Jazz by 3. Hornacek down to Malone. Jay Humphries, that's a 2. Drains the 3 and has 7 points early in this game.
Three-point shooting becomes contagious, Bob. I remember when I was coaching in Chicago, we got Craig Hodges, and he shot it so well, guys after practice would stay and work and work. Michael Jordan became a great three-point shooter, and it becomes a real contagious thing as Humphries hits another one.
Humphries has come in and hit 2 baskets off the bench. Looks like his knee's okay. Certainly his right hand is. 21-17 Utah, 2:14 to go first quarter. Now Maxwell will try the triple.
It's amazing, isn't it? What Houston is doing from the three-point line. I mean, they're just not letting up at all.
Maxwell has 2 and Houston's 3 for 4 from beyond the arc. It is a 1-point game with 2 minutes to go in the first quarter. Vernon Maxwell has 8 points in this quarter to lead all scorers.
See, Humphries wants to isolate against Cassell. Let's see if they go to this once again. He's a right-hander that loves to go left.
Cassell stops him 3 on the clock. Benoit dishes to Malone. 2-1. That's a violation of the 24-second clock. Houston ball with a chance to take the lead. They trailed by as many as 7. And now we have a timeout on the floor with 1:41 to go. In the first quarter, the Rockets coming alive.
Among the highest awards for quality in the world is the Deming Award. Very few manufacturers have ever won one. Ricoh has 2 of them. In fact, Ricoh copiers and fax machines have won every major award for copier and fax quality. So we don't just have a reputation for excellence. We have proof. The name to know, Ricoh.
You know you need life insurance to protect the family you love. We know the way things go, it's hard to find the money to pay the premiums. You know you've got to do it, and we know we can help you. To protect your family's future security, many financial advisors recommend insurance coverage equal to 5 times your annual income. Wait, before you say, I can't afford that, look into this money-saving offer from Garden State Life Insurance. If you're in good health and don't smoke cigarettes, Garden State Life can offer you quality term life insurance that may save you as much as 50% off what you're paying for term life insurance protection. Garden State Life guarantees your premiums remain the same for 8, 10, even 20 years to come. So if you need $25,000 to $1 million or more of quality life insurance protection, call today. 800-421-2000 for this free information package and confidential coverage proposal. Garden State Life Insurance. 800-421-2000. 421-2000.
This program is authorized under broadcasting rights granted by the National Basketball Association. Any publication, reproduction, or other use of pictures, descriptions, or accounts of this game without the express written consent of the National Basketball Association is prohibited.
In a somewhat historical move, the Utah Jazz scored a point during the timeout. The officials met over at the scorer's table and decided to award a 3-point basket to that long perimeter shot from Jay Humphries before we went away to make it 22-20 Utah. We have 1:41 to go in the first quarter. Hakeem Olajuwon looking for his first field goal. He has 1 free throw so far tonight. Cassell's pull-up jumper. Tip missed by Olajuwon.
Well, Olajuwon has 4 assists, 3 block shots. He does not have a field goal. He's 0 for 5. So if you're the Rockets, you have to feel pretty good about this. If your MVP has only got 1 point, you're only down 2 here with a minute 15 to go in the first quarter.
Malone's turnaround jumper. It doesn't fall. Or he kept it alive out to Maxwell.
See, Felton Spencer's doing a great job of taking his position away on the floor.
Good rebounding by Utah. They were out rebounded by 19 in game number 2. Hornacek from the corner. Malone fouled by Thorpe. Cassell was down there too. As a matter of fact, they're going to give it to Cassell.
You can really see right now that the Jazz are much more active on the boards than they were the other night. Only 23 total rebounds in the game the other night. 42 for Houston, so minus 19 on the boards. Malone now 2 points and 6 rebounds, so you'd have to say that your two top scorers, Bob, have gotten off the slow starts offensively. Remember now, we said Malone has not gotten off the quick starts in this series.
And he had some stomach ailment yesterday and today, and also has a sore ankle. There's the difference of Karl Malone in games 1 and then 2 and 3. Malone gets the free throw. He has 3 early. Olajuwon only 1 point from the line. Jazz by 3 with under a minute to go in the first quarter.
Might be one of those games because of his ankle that Jerry Sloan's not going to be able to rest Malone. If he sits down, it's going to stiffen up. So don't be surprised if he doesn't go off 48 tonight.
10 to shoot. Now 5. The play was broken. It didn't go the way they wanted to. Horry misses. Olajuwon with the rebound, and he traveled before he could bounce it. Utah ball up by 3, 32 seconds to go in the quarter. Olajuwon and Cassell right now talking about the play that didn't happen right. No question who this team belongs to on the floor. It is Hakeem's team.
He's talking to Sam about running the play and to look for him in this particular set that they were trying to run. Here's the isolation for Humphries. We saw a lot of this in game 2.
5 on the shot clock. Jay Humphries is feeling it tonight. He has 7 points. He's 3 for 3 from the field.
See, that's why he's such an important part of the team. He gives you points, but he also gives you some minutes to allow your guards who have some age on them now to get some rest.
Olajuwon, quick turnaround shot. He is 0 for 6. It is Houston ball with 1/10 of a second to go in the quarter.
Remember now, the only thing you can get here is a lob. Anything at .3 or under, it has to be a catch and shoot automatically. A lob to the basket, that will not count.
They wave it off immediately.
No shot, that's the quarter. The Jazz 25, Houston 20.
25-20 Utah with a 5-point first quarter lead, and the energy is back in the legs of the Jazz.
I finally made it to the big leagues. And my first game, we get the call. And I'm thinking, how lucky can a guy get?
Beechwood aged for that fresh, distinctive taste. Crisp, clean, classic.
GI Fridays has me on these fresh cut greens to promote their fresh cut greens, like delicious grilled chicken Caesar salad, fresh greens loaded with charbroiled chicken. Whose idea was this?
Everyone looks forward to Fridays. I have a job, a family, a million things to do. Who has time to think about their car? That's why I take my car to Jiffy Lube for top quality products like Pennzoil. They're professional. They do a great job, and I like Pennzoil. Why would I go anywhere else?
Jiffy Lube, America's favorite oil change for busy people.
Remember to bring your car to Jiffy Lube every 3,000 miles.
This isn't some blazing spot on the equator. It's the Dutch Boy Paint Testing Facility, where we make sure our exterior house paints resist fading and peeling. It's one of 77 tests we do, so you can give your home the lasting look of Dutch Boy.
We're at the Delta Center in Salt Lake City, Utah. And yes, there's still snow up on those Wasatch Mountains, but it's pretty pleasant and warm here. 5 points, Jazz have the lead. The story so far, quarter number one, Hakeem Olajuwon has been unable to score from the field.
Well, we talked about the inside attack working so well and why Houston had done so well in this 2 games of the playoffs. Hakeem 0 for 6, only 1 point. The three-point shooting still there at 3 for 4.
25-20 Utah, and Tom Chambers has entered the game for Utah. Olajuwon takes it away from Stockton, who hits the floor. Mario Elie is checked in for Houston. Elie, Maxwell, Thorpe, and Cassell on the floor for the Rockets.
Elie came off a sensational game, shot only 3 for 9, did a big three-pointer in game 2, but 10 for 10 from the foul line, so 17 big bench points.
5 to shoot. Stockton, air ball caught by Olajuwon. That's 4 rebounds for Olajuwon, and by the way, the Houston defense deserves a little bit of a nod. Utah's having trouble getting into their half-court sets.
I was getting ready to say exactly the same thing. They've worked against the clock about 4 times here in this first few minutes of this game.
The steal from Olajuwon. He is now 0 for 7. Tom Chambers from John Stockton. Jazz by 7, matching their biggest lead of the game.
See, bench contributions right now. Humphries has 7. Chambers has 2, so 9 points off the bench to none for Houston.
0 for 8 for Hakeem Olajuwon. Stockton, it's a 9-point lead. .16 to go in the half. 22nd timeout signaled by Houston. Doug, you said before the game, as you and I were talking, don't be surprised to see Houston get down by 10 in the first half if Utah's energized.
Well, they are energized, and they're doing a wonderful job getting some fast break points, but more importantly, they have taken away Olajuwon's position in the paint tonight. Felton Spencer's done a terrific job bodying him, pushing out against him. Every shot Hakeem has shot has been under pressure. He's been fading to the baseline. The Jazz 14-0 in fast break points. So of their 29 points, basically half of them coming in open court situations.
Play back in. Olajuwon goes to the bench. Earl Curitan comes in. Maxwell throws it away, intended for Thorpe. The Jazz with a 9-point lead. 10:04 to go in the half. Tyrone Corbin on the floor for Utah now, number 23, the much-traveled veteran. Paul.
Karl Malone's going to come right back into the game. I think he had an equipment problem, so he went right out and is coming right back in. So what I said, I think is going to hold true. I don't think you're going to see him sitting much with that sprained ankle.
And we're going to get a timeout. We'll be right back to the Delta Center. The Jazz up by 9. Now we've got a technical called over in front of the Houston bench. Let's see who they're calling it on. It is a double technical. We will sort it out when we come back. Stay with us.
Amelia Earhart, The Final Flight, coming Sunday, June 12th.
The new Saab 900. It won Automobile Magazine's Design of the Year. Consumers Digest rated it the best buy. Kiplinger's Personal Finance magazine called it the best new car in its class. But with a 50% stiffer body, the new 900 is designed to survive much more than the scrutiny of the press. Test drive the Saab 900, a new 900 Turbo Coupe.
Is stripping old paint a pain in the elbow? Well, now you can power off old paint, stain, varnish, even rust with Easy Stripper. It literally eats old paint. Forget messy chemicals or changing sheets of sandpaper. Easy Stripper strips window frames and powers paint off siding. It's gentle enough to remove old varnish, yet it chews up thick, scaly rust in seconds. Yes, Easy Stripper powers off old paint and rust on contact. But there's more. Here's the driver. Now you can power in any screw in seconds. Monster screws like this, or tiny screws like this. Even screws above your head. Yes, when you order Easy Stripper to power off paint and rust, you also get the driver to power in any screw. Both tools for an incredible $19.95. Order now.
For rush delivery, call 1-800-421-2000 or send $19.95 plus $5.95 shipping to Easy Stripper Plus, P.O. Box 2666, Atlanta, Georgia, for your Easy Stripper and driver. Order now.
All right, Doug, let's take a look at this while we still sort out. It's against one of the Houston Rockets, either Olajuwon or Maxwell, and we'll get the official line on it, but take a look at the play.
I think it's on Maxwell. He's playing the screener underneath, and Chambers screens him, and he gets hit up in the face.
It is Maxwell.
And then he says something to Joey Crawford, who gives him the technical. What happened, Jack Neese went over, and he gave a different number for the technical, so it made it look like there was more than one technical on the play. It's just on Maxwell.
Who takes a seat on the bench, and Chris Gent comes in. Now the officials discussing.
Maybe Jack Neese does have a technical. I don't know.
The communications here is not good, so we're not sure yet. Now Joey Crawford walks to the bench over at the scorer's table as John Stockton shoots it again.
So there was two technicals on the play, one on Maxwell and okay, so there was one on Olajuwon also.
So it was a double technical against Olajuwon and Vernon Maxwell. Find out eventually. I guess Pony Express will get it to us. 31-20, Jazz by 11. 9:46 to go in the first half, and a quick foul goal on Sam Cassell.
If Sam Cassell has an area that he's really got to work on, it's that he gets distracted by the officials. If he gets bumped, he'll stop playing. If he commits a foul, he wants to say something. As a rookie, that's an area you don't want to get that reputation. The officials don't want to hear that from young players.
Utah on a 9-0 run. They have an 11-point lead.
And this is what they did the other night, the Rockets, too. They brought in Ellie to play Humphries when he's got hot because he's a stronger, more physical body.
Sam Cassell with the near steal. 4 on the shot clock. Stockton with the ball fake. Ellie strips it away. 2 on the clock, and it'll belong to Utah.
Now the Jazz have a quick hitting play that they try to run on this situation to free up a quick shooter. Look for Stockton or Humphries to get the quick shot coming off a stack. They line up 3 or 4 in a row. They run a guy to the baseline, and then Humphries right off his back.
There's Stockton. He got the shot that beat the clock. Didn't go down. Jazz by 11. Olajuwon on the bench. Maxwell on the bench. Sam Cassell with the drive. He draws the foul.
Now what the Jazz must not do here is relax because Hakeem is off the floor. Felton Spencer did a wonderful job. He's getting a rest. You're going to see him rest while Olajuwon rests. But you can't have a letdown and allow the Rockets to make a little surge while the MVP is sitting down. Sometimes mentally you relax when you see the best player leave the game.
You see the slump that Sam Cassell had in game number 2. Houston, until that free throw, was scoreless for the last 5 minutes of this game. Cassell playing with more energy here tonight. Gets them both. First 2 points of the game. 31-22, Jazz by 9. Malone is fouled. For this series, a strange lineup on the floor for the Houston Rockets.
I think right now Rudy's trying to mix and match. He took Olajuwon out, let him rest a little bit. I think more than anything else just to calm him down. He got a little frustrated with the defense. I thought took about 3 bad shots. And he's 0 for 8 tonight, so you take him out, he gets a technical, let him calm down a little bit, and see if he comes back in then if he's a little bit more prepared to play. It happens sometimes you get too excited and it works against you.
Thorpe picks up the personal. He sits down. Elijah Wan's back in. At the conclusion of tonight's game, we'll select the Budweiser player of the game, and Budweiser will donate $1,000 in his behalf to the United Negro College Fund. Malone with only 3 points himself here early in this game. He's 2 for 4 from the free throw line. 10-point Jazz lead. Wan battling to get it. It's stripped by Malone, and Elijah Wan looks like he's hurt.
We got to keep right. He's holding his hand.
So it's 4 against 5. Karl Malone misses. The ball is saved by Houston. Remember, Spencer stepped on Elijah Wan's finger in game number 1. He's talking to Jack Madden. We have the turnover. It'll be Utah ball. Looks like Elijah Wan's all right.
See, Hakeem, it looked like on the loose ball he had a dunk, and at the last moment, look at it. It looks like he's going to load up and he has a dunk. Curtin gets in the way, and here comes Malone with that patented strip straight down on the ball, hand part of the ball, and I think Hakeem's fingers got jammed on that play. He's got them all taped up.
Humphreys from the corner. Elijah Wan the rebound. Hakeem told me, by the way, on Wednesday that he strained the ligaments in that finger when Felton Spencer stepped on his hand in game 1, and the Rockets have missed their last 10 field goal attempts.
How much time will Jerry Sloan be able to buy with Tom Chambers playing Elijah Wan? The one thing you don't want to do is you don't want to let a player get started against someone that he's comfortable playing against. So I'm sure that Jerry's like to get Felton some rest. Excuse me, Bob. The problem is Elijah Wan can play 46 minutes and be fresh at the end. I don't think Felton Spencer has that kind of stamina.
Elijah Wan really struggling tonight. Now remember, he's only 1 of 3 at the line. He's 0 for 8 at the field from the field. He scored 41 in game number 2 and never missed a free throw. But he does have a sore finger, a strained ligament on that middle finger of his shooting hand, which it looked as though he's stung again.
Well, in his 41-point game the other night, he only missed 8 shots. He was 14 for 22, so tonight he's already missed as many as he did in the entire ball game.
Earl Curitan tried to deny the pass. Chambers with a rebound. Malone back to Chambers. Off the glass, Tom Chambers has 4 off the bench.
Bench scoring right now, 11-2. Favor the Jazz.
Elijah Wan's first basket from the field of the night. He is 1 for 9. But you know, I've used it so many times, the analogy. He's like the 300 hitter in baseball. He's like the 1,000-yard ground gainer. You got to keep going to him.
Yes, you do. And you know, he's going to miss those shots, but he's going to keep taking them. That's the most important thing. He's got to get good shots.
Humphreys up and under. Chambers almost had the rebound, but instead the foul is going to be called.
Boy, Joey Crawford's not a guy you want to say anything to. Tom Chambers talking to him. Joey says, get down the floor. Tom knows well enough, he's been in this league long enough, that Joey Crawford will ring you up in a hurry. And here comes Felton Spencer back into the game. I think this is a very good move by Jerry Sloan. Hakeem hits his last shot, and he's going to go right back to it against Chambers.
2 in a row from Hakeem Olajuwon. Spencer now back to the bench. 6:47 to go in the first half, and the Jazz, despite dominating this game, only lead it by 7. And Olajuwon looks as though he may be starting to get comfortable. Look at Curtin try to play Malone. What a man down there. From the corner, Stockton with the 3. That's only his second 3 in the series.
It's going to be a loose ball foul on Tyrone Corbin. He threw Chris Gent down after the shot went through, so the 3 will count. And what music that is to the ears of Jerry Sloan and to this Jazz team to get a couple 3-pointers to go here early in this game.
Ain't nothing gonna break my stride. Nobody's gonna slow me down. Oh no, I got to keep on moving.
At National Car Rental, everything we do is aimed at one single goal, to keep you moving. So choose National, because green means go.
Oh! stride. Nobody gonna slow me down. Oh no, I got to keep on moving.
Lucky Chicken.
21-piece Lucky Bucket.
Oh, forward.
Even the best gasolines leave deposits in your fuel system, causing all kinds of problems.
Lucky Chicken.
The Lucky Bucket 21-piece.
Oh, forward.
But now there's new Slick 50 fuel system formula. 10 times more powerful than the leading gas treatment. It cleans your entire fuel system, restoring power and performance. Get new Slick 50 fuel system formula.
Oh, forward.
Yeah.
I was an NBA All-Star for 8 seasons, and one thing I learned is that no one can do it alone. Now, traveling across the country as an NBA stay-in-school chairman, I visit a lot of schools. And I've learned that getting a good education is also a team effort. America's schools need everyone to get into the action. Help spread the stay-in-school message. It's everyone's best move.
Humphreys and now Stockton with threes for Utah.
Let's talk about spacing on the floor. The ball goes in the post, and you're going to see Cassell come back and double team. And we're going to stop it right here. Look at the defense of the Jazz, or the Rockets. You've got to be able to make this three-point shot. They kick it out, and Stockton spaces the floor nicely and buries the deep shot. And off the ball, the foul on Tyrone Corbin as he throws down Chris Gent.
Got another foul. This one now is going to be called against the Utah Jazz, and it's on John Stockton. And that's his third foul early in the game. Curitan sits down. Otis Thorpe is back in. Let's set the lineups for you. We've had so many changes here. Thorpe and Olajuwon, Cassell, Ellie, and Gent on the floor for Houston. It's Hornacek, Tyrone Corbin, Humphreys, Felton Spencer, and Malone for the Utah Jazz. 6:16 to go in the first quarter. Cassell's third point, all coming from the free throw line. He did not score in game number 2. He has 4.
See if the Rockets can take advantage now of the last 6 minutes and 15 seconds of this half. If they can get to the free throw line, only 3 team fouls for the Rockets. So it could be a disparity in free throws over the last 6 minutes of this half.
Maxwell getting set to come back in the game for Houston also momentarily. Next dead ball.
With the awareness of Hornacek, Bob, as I watch off the ball, they are just not going to give him a free shot. I mean, Ellie is sticking to him.
Jet comes away with the loose ball after the Spencer miss. Cassell to Thorpe. He's fouled.
It's the importance of getting to the free throw line now. The clock stops. Stockton will be out probably the last 6 minutes. So the importance of Humphreys and Hornacek now to play well in the backcourt. This is why you need that third guard coming in. Cassell playing much better tonight.
How about this? In this series, Otis Thorpe has only taken 2 free throws. This is his third.
Cassell and Houston now in their half-court set. Down low on the left side. Olajuwon spinning off the glass, missing again. Malone with the rebound to Hornacek on the run, left side. Penetration. Kick out to Humphreys, right side. 18 feet. Humphreys has 9. 10-point Jazz lead. Cassell, left side. Crosses the timeline. Olajuwon down low, draws 3, back out, they reverse it. Bad pass from Maxwell, right side to Ellie. Free throw line jumper from Olajuwon, doesn't fall. Lost out of bounds off Houston. Utah ball.
Hakeem has taken more bad shots in the game tonight than I've seen him take in about the 6 games that we've done for them.
2 for 12, and he's getting right now impatient. He's got to calm himself down. It will come to him. But Bob, I think he's forced at least 4 or 5 shots that I've seen tonight, and he's getting frustrated. A couple times not even running back on defense. That's not who he is.
Now we're back with our video. We have some bad storms here in Salt Lake City. That's what knocked us off a little bit. 8 seconds on the shot clock for Utah, leading by 10. Humphries misses from the corner. Way out in front to Maxwell. And the lay-in, wanted the foul, didn't get it from Jack Nees. It is an 8-point Jazz lead.
Well, Maxwell did the smart thing as Humphries took that shot he just released. And Jeff Hornacek was buried on the other side. No floor balance, so they could not get back to prevent the layup by Maxwell.
4 minutes to go in the first half. Utah's led all the way here. Good pass, Hornacek. Ball is saved by the tiniest of margins by Jay Humphrey as he looked up at Jack Nees and said, play on, you are inbounds. 3:43 to go, first half. Humphrey's getting the pick and the jumper. It's down. And we're going to get the foul called on Vernon Maxwell. Count the basket. Maxwell held on to Malone. They had a screen and roll going there. So Vernon picks up the personal. He has 3.
Well, you're going to see a great pick by Malone, and Humphrey's going to use it. And then on the roll, watch Maxwell pushes and pulls down Karl Malone. So Maxwell with the foul. So Malone will go to the line to try to finish up the 3-point play. Humphrey's given him a tremendous performance here off the bench. 5 for 8 now. He has 11 points. So bench scoring now 15-4. In favor of the Utah Jazz.
And Otis Thorpe escorted Vernon Maxwell off the floor before he said something else to Jack Nees. He has 3 personals and has a technical called against him already. So if they call another technical, that'd be all she wrote for Vernon Maxwell. Houston knows they need him on the floor.
25-23 bench scoring for Houston. Game 2. Game 1, 19-13. So right now the Jazz winning that ever important battle of the guys coming off the bench to give contributions.
And a lot closer 3-point time. Houston has 3 threes, and Utah has 2.
Let's give Felton Spencer some credit, Bob. He is working and working and working to try to just wear Olajuwon down. His body is on him everywhere that he goes. And more importantly, he stayed out of foul trouble. He only has 1 personal foul. So if we get down to about the minute mark and he's only got 1 foul, or if he gets his second, I look for Jerry Sloan to take him out so he can have 4 at least to work with in the second half.
Put that heavy body on Olajuwon with some fouls to give. You're right about that. Jazz by 11. That was an illegal defensive call which gave the ball back, and Olajuwon gets the jam from Sam Cassell. Utah by 9. 3:11 to go in the first half.
That was not Felton Spencer's fault. He rotated over to pick up the penetrating guard, and no one rotated down to take Olajuwon.
Humphries feeling it here. Misses this time. Ori back in. Out of bounds. Houston ball.
We have a timeout.
And a timeout on the floor. 2:59 to go in the first half. Jazz have led all the way. Their biggest lead of 11. They now lead by 9.
June, the NBA Draft. August, Dream Team 2 at the World Championship of Basketball. And this fall, Sunday Night NFL on TNT. When it's big-time sports, TNT comes to play.
Do you need to be the best?
Starter. Every time I go out there, the adrenaline starts pumping. Chills running down my spine. I'm scared. Whoa. Talent can only take you so far.
You always have to be motivated yourself.
You gotta have something inside. A burning desire to go out there and compete every night. You need to do everything it takes. No matter what. Stopping at nothing. I'm not gonna stop. That's the nature of the beast. Score that touchdown just to hit him go crazy. You have to love a starter.
What do you need to be the best?
Everything you got. It's up to you.
At Jiffy Lube, we understand that some people like to change their own oil. They want to save money. But when you think about the time it takes to buy new oil, get out the tools, do the work, properly dispose of the old oil, and clean up, well, just think about it. And then think about going to Jiffy Lube for your next oil change.
For quality products like Pennzoil and quality service, go to Jiffy Lube and ask for Pennzoil.
Word on the street was they were a bad bet. An American institution, 3 days shy of extinction. Only one investment firm, Dean Witter, saw past the problems to the real value of the company. And a rumble was heard round Wall Street as the last American motorcycle company came roaring back to life with a listing on the New York Stock Exchange. From Main Street to Wall Street, at Dean Witter,
We measure success one investor at a time.
Jazz lead by 9, 2:59 remaining in the second quarter. Bob, we'll talk about how hard Felton Spencer is working. Look at him. He's going to bust through the pick of Smith. And if we stop it right here, he comes over to stop Cassell. This man has got to get around in front of Olajuwon. Corbin doesn't get there, and Olajuwon gets the dunk. And when a guy's struggling from the field, you do not want to give him these kind of easy baskets.
Sam Cassell to Olajuwon, open from 12 feet. And Olajuwon heating up. By the way, we talked about in game 1 and 2, the battle of the guards, and this is certainly significant in the game. In this one, Utah's guards, 27 of the Jazz, 46 points. Houston, 14 points from the backcourt. Utah, 27.
In game 1, remember, it was 47-35 in favor of the Rockets.
Hornacek with a beautiful pass into Malone, and Bolton to count the basket. Hornacek, a baseball pass in there. Malone now 2 of 8. Olajuwon back to Cassell, open from the perimeter. Rimmed in and out of there. Would have been a 3.
That's the importance of the inside out. The Jazz have banked on that 3, not continuing to go at the percentage that it has in the first 2 games.
Benoit steals the rebound. He just checked back in. Fresh legs. Brother, can he leap?
Yes, he can. And you've got Cassell now playing Benoit. That's a mismatch.
10 to shoot. Malone has time to think about it.
Too much time. I thought he didn't get into the rhythm of his shot. He started to shoot it, brought it back, and then took the shot.
Cassell sees that penetration, this time from 15.
They're going behind on that screen, and Cassell can vary that shot, so that's there all night for them if they want to take advantage of it.
Cassell now with 6 points off the bench, all in this second quarter. Jazz by 7, minute 18 to go in the half.
Here's been the guy in the story right here in the first half, Jay Humphries.
He was fouled before the shot was blocked. And it's called on Sam Cassell, his 3rd.
Cassell's going to get a technical. This is one thing I talked about. They will not tolerate that from a rookie.
Olajuwon, Maxwell, and now Cassell have all been called for technicals on the part of Houston here in the first half.
Sam Cassell has struggled playing Jay Humphries, not from quickness, but from strength. Here Cassell talks to Jack Neeson, then to Jack Madden. You see him continuing to talk, and it cost him a technical. So 3 free throws now. Hornacek will shoot the tee, and then Jay Humphries will be at the line to shoot 2.
And remember, that's the 4th technical that's been called on the Houston team. Rudy Tomjanovich also picked up technical fouls.
So we got an 8-point game, and 4 of them on technical fouls. So in essence, the Jazz have totally outplayed the Rockets here in the first half, in my estimation. And if it weren't for the technical free throws, they'd only be up 2 field goals.
Yeah, and also very importantly, as all the basketball fans know, is 2 technicals and you're out of here. So Maxwell, Olajuwon, and Cassell now will be right on the edge. If they lose their temper once, they're gone.
Yeah, and also, too, John Stockton has been on the bench through this, about the last 7 minutes of the half. So they've been able to play very well with him sitting down. So the importance of having veteran guards in the playoffs has paid off tonight for the Jazz.
Jazz by 9, minute 10 to go in the half. Stockton, despite all that bench time, has 11 points. He's played well in this game.
Scotty Brooks making his first appearance
in the series. Exactly. Scotty Brooks, a little 5'11" guard from UC Irvine, number 1. That's the first foul on Howard, who's also into this ball game just for a couple of minutes. Stephen Howard is the second-year player out of DePaul. He wears number 43. He's had very limited playing time during the playoffs. Malone gets to rest with only 1 minute to go in the half. Dick Versace and Ernie Johnson ready for the Reebok halftime report. What a pair they are. That's all I have to say about that.
No comment from me necessary, right?
Exactly. Get them stirred up before they get to the halftime. 8-point Jazz lead.
Scotty Brooks trying to defend Jeff Hornacek. Remember, he came here, Hornacek did, in the trade for Jeff Malone from Philadelphia to bring more versatility like that. Jeff Malone, by the way, in attendance at this game. Jazz by 10. Strip from Olajuwon. Hornacek. Benoit.
Oh, my goodness, it's goaltending.
That was nearly the fourth block of the game for Olajuwon. Rudy Tomjanovich exploded on the sideline. Meanwhile, Benoit has 8 points here in the first half.
It was not goaltending if the ball had not gotten to the backboard yet. I could not tell from this angle whether it had gotten to the glass.
Biggest lead of the game for Utah. Lead of 12. Olajuwon over Spencer. Rebound Humphries.
Oh, how sweet the home court is.
On their feet at the Delta Center. A falling down, underhanded softball shot. Scotty Brooks is tied up by...
Held the Rockets to only
40 points. Olajuwon with 10, 9 in this second quarter. It's been the play of Humphries and the Utah guards.
Dream Team 2 coming this summer
on TNT.
You can't see gasoline vapors, but they are very dangerous. Gasoline is a motor fuel, not a cleaner. Don't put your family in danger by using gasoline indoors, and keep it away from your children. If you use gasoline in your home, your dreams for the future can change in a flash. Keep gasoline tightly sealed and away from your children, because what you can't see can kill you.
When it comes to roping a steer, folks in Grand Junction, Colorado will tell you that Ron Markin can ride with the best of them. And when it comes to overhauling an engine or rebuilding a carburetor, well, he can do it all. You see, when Ron's not riding a horse for fun, he's turning a wrench for a living. So he buys a lot of parts, mostly from AutoZone. Sure, there are other parts stores in town, but Ron knows that when you want the right part for the right price, there's just no place better than AutoZone.
2 years ago, I blew out my Achilles. I said I'd be back. Everyone else said I was finished. All I gotta say is, step under this. And we'll see who's finished.
Only the love can make you a player. You got the love?
The Reebok Halftime Report is brought to you by Reebok, to remind you that on Planet Reebok, there are no rules.
Well, for the first time in this series, the Utah Jazz enjoy a halftime lead. It is 52-40 as they lead the Rockets. Game 3 of the Western Conference Final. Ernie Johnson, Dick Versace, Reebok Halftime Report. How is Utah doing it there, big guy?
Well, Utah's doing it by getting out and running. Both of these teams really like to play the same way, Ernie. Both teams want to force the other team to play 5-on-5, but will run on opportunity. What happens to Houston sometimes is they get in these lulls, and they don't play very good transition defense for periods of time. And if the other team is making them miss and getting out and running on opportunity breaks, as Utah is, then they can really take advantage of the fact that Houston sometimes goes into these lulls.
How about the telestrator? Let's take a look and see something that's jumped out at you in the first half.
Well, this is what's jumped out at me, and this really got Utah in trouble in game 1 and 2. You're going to see a pick and roll develop here. Go ahead and run it a little bit. Let the pick and roll develop. All right, stop it right there. Now, what will happen is John Stockton, when he knows he's guarding a guy that's not going to stop right here and shoot the ball, he'll go underneath the screen, and he'll try to pick the guy up as he comes over here. But Sam Cassell is very good, and you'll watch Cassell turn the corner on him right here and get in the lane. That's really a problem. Watch Stockton go underneath now. This was a major problem, and see, he got caught on Otis Thorpe's pick there. He couldn't square him up.
Sam Cassell went to the line as a result of that play. It is a 52-40 game, the Jazz with the lead by a dozen. The Reebok Halftime Report continues as we take a look at Indiana and New York right after this.
This is the last straw. In case you missed the symbolism, TGI Fridays has me in a garden to remind you of their garden fresh salads. Like Cajun fried chicken salad, fresh greens piled high with crisp and spicy Cajun chicken. Or Cobb salad, turkey, bacon, and avocado heaped over fresh tossed greens. If my agent only had a brain.
Everyone looks forward to Fridays!
Call it the new feel-good hit of the season. It's hot and pulsing. It's warm and misty. A must experience for the entire family. The Shower Massage by Teledyne Waterpick. If you only take one shower this year, this should be it.
Seattle, average rainfall 39 inches. Phoenix, average high 103 degrees. Minneapolis, average low 7. Every year, Andersen windows and patio doors stand up to the harshest sun, the coldest wind, the hardest rain. So much for the law of averages.
This isn't the work of a kindergarten artist. It's the Dutch Boy Paint Testing Facility, where we make sure our kids' room paint will resist your little one's finishing touches. It's one of 73 tests we do, so you can give your home the lasting look of Dutch Boy.
Critics are unanimous. They're calling The Crow the best movie of its kind since Batman. 4 stars. Brandon Lee is sensational, dazzling, and fiercely hypnotic. Brandon Lee, The Crow, rated R, now playing.
At the break, at the Delta Center, 52-40, the Jazz with the lead over the Rockets as the Reebok halftime report continues. Utah, of course, going back home, down 2-0 in that series. That's the same situation Larry Brown and the Indiana Pacers are going to be in tomorrow as they go back to Market Square, down 2-0 against the Knicks. Put yourself in the coach's role, and it's easy for you to do that. What's the most important thing you could do as a coach, A, with a 2-0 lead, and B, down 2-0 at this point?
Well, I think the hardest job is the guy that's got the 2-0 lead from a coaching standpoint, because what you've got to do is you've got to do an Elmer Gantry, but you've got to make them believe it, you know, because mainly when players get up 2 in a series like this, they get kind of happy feet, you know, and they're just kind of feeling really good about themselves, and no matter what you say, they go, oh yeah, coach, come on, we'll take care of business. But on the other hand, Larry Brown has to really challenge his team, and he's done so in the papers. He's been talking to his team through the papers. He's very clever, very good coach.
He did so in the Atlanta series, too. I think he read him the riot act after that 69-point game and said, come on, you got to get it going, and they went on and won that series against the Hawks. Right now, the problem for Indiana, though, hitting those 3-pointers, because here was a team that was the best in the league in the regular season, hitting about 37% from beyond the arc, but from the promised land against the Magic, 32.4 against the Hawks. Boy, look at that, 45.5. That's an astronomical 3-point percentage, but against the Knicks, just 2 out of 14 for 143. Reggie Miller has hit both of those, but he hasn't hit many of those.
Well, the reason is that Reggie needs a little bit of time. He needs to get his feet square. He actually got him squared up, but the challenge was there, and that bothered him, caused him to rush the shot a little bit. New York is great at challenging shots. They chart that on the bench. They chart the number of challenges each quarter.
Well, I think they ran out of lead in those pencils, because I think there's every possession goes contested by the Knicks. I mean, you're in a war the entire 48 minutes. What does Larry Brown look at now when you go back home to get his guys into an offensive rhythm?
Well, he needs to get other people involved. He needs the Davis guys to do some scoring. You know, when they played Atlanta in this series, Ernie, they did a great job of finding the guys who set the screens, because when the guy that's guarding the screener steps up to help out on a Reggie Miller, he can pop into the lane and be open. The problem is New York puts such pressure on the ball, it's hard to find that guy, and New York covers up for each other very well.
Is the digit up to some more telestrator work?
Oh, it's working great. Let me show you.
Let's go.
This is really what you want to see happen. All right, hold it right there, guys. There's going to be a screen down right here. This screen down is going to come here. Reggie's going to come up off the screen, and then I'm going to show you how New York steps up. This is what we call step up. Now, here's the screen. It's Reggie coming off of it. Hold it right there. See, this little move right here is a step up, and that leaves this pass in here wide open. And they have not done much of this against New York, and that's a kind of a rare sight to see against New York.
Another one for you, but you can just talk this one through for me. Look at Haywood working out on the point.
What you're going to see here is just great ball pressure, forcing Haywood Workman to try to be a one-on-one player. There was nothing else. There was no passes from A to B, Ernie. The next available pass over here, you remember when you play outside or the pass over here,
inside.
You never look to pass over here. But that's called the A to B pass. There are no A to B passes, forced him to go one-on-one. He's not a great one-on-one player.
Very few open jumpers in that series. Game 3 is Saturday. Game 4 is Monday, both at Market Square. And then I think they got some kind of a race in here in between, some 500 thing or something up there.
You ever been at 500? By the way, can I just do a quick congratulations to my friend Mario Andretti? Mario Andretti.
You've done it.
My fellow Italian.
You got it. The Reebok Halftime Report continues in a minute.
Craig Lampert isn't too worried about how to invest for Zach's college education. That's because he works with a broker from Dean Witter.
We measure success one investor at a time.
I smoke, but at many fast food restaurants, it's not on the menu. So I've got an order of my own, Wrigley Spearmint Gum. It's got a cool, clean taste that everyone enjoys. So when I can't smoke, I enjoy pure chewing satisfaction.
Well, we took two of the colors that we really liked the best and took them into Sears, and they matched it perfectly for us.
Memorial Day weekend is perfect for painting, which means it's time for Sears Memorial Day paint sale. Easy Living and Weather Beater Flat, only $9.99 a gallon.
No paint I know outlasts Weather Beater, that's why I picked it.
And Easy Living Satin and Low Luster Semi-Gloss, only $10.99 a gallon. For the best finish, start at Sears' huge Memorial Day paint sale, bringing America's best to you.
People at Sears really made it easy for us.
Welcome back to the Reebok Halftime Report. Hey to Rick Mears, too. Hakeem Olajuwon has 10 points all in the second quarter. Vernon Maxwell has 10, but also has 3 fouls. Houston tried to take a 3-0 lead in the series, trailing Utah by 12. This is our final night of playoff coverage here. Why don't you just put the thing in a nutshell for me? I mean, I'm a guy who picked New York and Seattle to go all the way. I'll admit that that was not the right pick to make, but the way things have shaken out here, what do you think, Dick?
Well, I'm a guy that picked New York and Phoenix to go all the way, so
So you're not sticking with that either?
No, I don't think I'm going to stick with it, and Charles, I'm sorry. You know.
But your thoughts overall?
No, I think injuries played a big factor. Charles Barkley not being healthy, I think that was a major factor. I think some mental illness, you know, with Seattle was a problem. They couldn't keep the fragile egos together down the stretch. They certainly were a great basketball team and had a great year. But it's the pressure that Pat Riley continues to put on his team and their acceptance of that pressure. And he's just painted a picture for them that they now believe in. And I think they're going to be the champions.
Over?
I think Houston will prevail, but I think it's going to go 7.
Dick? Always a pleasure. 29 weeks ago we started this. Great to have you with us.
Thank you.
Once again. We'll take you back to the Delta Center for the third period. It's a 52-40 game. Can the Jazz get back in this thing? We'll see.
The Reebok Halftime Report has been brought to you by Reebok, who reminds you that on Planet Reebok, there are no limits.
What would you do with a Motorola pager?
Never miss a meeting.
What would you do?
Mom's at home! Pager.
What about you?
All right, you got the pager number, right?
We're
going out.
Cool, this works.
What would you do? You could go anywhere, do anything, and still keep in touch with the people you want to keep in touch with. So what are you waiting for? Get the pager from Motorola, the leader in paging.
Is stripping old paint a pain in the elbow? Well, now you can power off old paint, stain, varnish, even rust with Easy Stripper. It literally eats old paint. Forget messy chemicals or changing sheets of sandpaper. Easy Stripper strips window frames and powers paint off siding. It's gentle enough to remove old varnish, yet it chews up thick, scaly rust in seconds. Yes, Easy Stripper powers off old paint and rust on contact. But there's more. Here's the driver. Now you can power in any screw in seconds. Monster screws like this this, or tiny screws like this, even screws above your head. Yes, when you order Easy Stripper to power off paint and rust, you also get the driver to power in any screw. Both tools for an incredible $19.95. Order now.
For rush delivery, call 1-800-421-2000 or send $19.95 plus $5.95 shipping to Easy Stripper Plus, P.O. Box 2666, Atlanta, Georgia, for your Easy Stripper and driver. Order now.
Well, the Utah Jazz with a 12-point lead here at halftime. You can look at a lot of reasons here. The Utah backcourt has been playing very well. The fast break has been working for the Utah Jazz. But I think when you really get down to it, Doug, you have to look at the fact that Felton Spencer has done an excellent defensive job on Hakeem Olajuwon.
He's denied him position. He's really taken away any easy basket. I thought Hakeem got frustrated in the first half and took some bad shots. And you're going to see some of the defense right here that Felton Spencer's playing. Only one foul committed. He forced him to spin baseline, keeps him out of the middle. Corbin comes in from behind. And what it's done is it's given them an opportunity to get out and run a little bit. And you see here Hornacek pushing the ball up the floor. Stockton missed 10 minutes with foul trouble, so Hornacek and Humphries, big lift off the bench from Jay Humphries, 16-6 bench scoring. Excuse me, and 16-4 fast break points. Turnovers, though. 4 turnovers for the Jazz. No points off turnovers, which is very, very significant statistic.
There's the backcourt scoring. We're talking about 31-16 for Houston. Kenny Smith has yet to score. He has only 1 assist for the Rockets, and there's the bench numbers Doug was telling you about, 16-6. Another interesting thing here is Karl Malone, as you look at these numbers, 7 points, only 2 for 10, and still Utah has the 12-point lead.
Well, one of the reasons also, too, you talked about Kenny Smith, but Mario Elie and Kenny Smith averaged 32 points between them in Houston. Tonight, both of them only attempted 1 shot, and they're scoreless.
Stockton and Hornacek in the backcourt for Utah. Karl Malone, David Benoit, and Felton Spencer up front. It's Olajuwon, Thorpe, and Horry with Vernon Maxwell and Kenny Smith for the Houston Rockets. Trailing by 12. Rebound Olajuwon. Maxwell right down the lane for the easy lay-in, and Vernon has 12 points. We'll also remind you that Vernon Maxwell, Kenny Smith, and Hakeem Olajuwon are each carrying 1 technical foul. If either of them get called for a technical in the second half, they'll be ejected. 10 to shoot for Utah.
See the double team and a tough pass for Benoit. He has to reload, and because of it, he does not have his balance. So Karl Malone's going to make a better pass out of that double team.
Maxwell driving, firing up the air ball. Benoit out to Stockton, has Malone and Hornacek. Uses them both.
Stockton had his eye on Malone the whole time down the floor, going to reward the big guy. Someone stepped in and forced him to make the pass with an excellent fast break, and John Stockton always looking to reward Karl Malone for running the floor.
Malone has 4 assists as he dished it to Hornacek. Jazz back by 12, 10:46 to go in the opening moments of the third quarter from the Delta Center in Salt Lake City. 3 seconds. 2. Olajuwon splits the double team and lays it in. Hakeem has 12.
That's really the first time that he's gotten contact and spun away where there wasn't a Jazz player waiting for him. That time, an easy access to the basket off the body contact and the lean in.
Eight to shoot. Spencer, tough shot. And didn't get it. Horry with the rebound.
When Utah has gotten in their half-court game tonight, I don't think they've been real crisp. I think they've taken advantage of some run-out opportunities.
Well, there you go. Kenny Smith had the ball stripped on the penetration. Olajuwon picks it up, lays it in, and he has 4 points here in the third quarter early.
Do you feel like the Jazz have been real clean with their half-court offense tonight? To me, it's been a struggle for them.
Absolutely, and they're usually an excellent half-court team. Credit a lot of that to the half-court defense of Houston.
Absolutely. And Stockton getting in foul trouble. We're so used to him doing that.
Just as we were saying. Stockton, by the way, with 13. Jazz by 10. Maxwell is fouled by Hornacek.
9:18 to go, third quarter. Bob Neal, Doug Collins with you. This is the final telecast of 40-something playoff games. We've brought our 43rd telecast that's been either on TNT, the majority of the games, and a few on our sister network, PBS. We've really enjoyed bringing them to you this month of May. Kenny Smith, line drive, front edge of the iron. Jazz by 10.
Stockton's done a wonderful job tonight disrupting his rhythm. He has not gotten those open looks that he got the first two games in Houston. They've made a conscious effort to try to take his three-point shooting out of the game.
Mailman, 9 points now, 10 rebounds, and 4 assists for Carl. He's playing a little bit sick. He had stomach ailment yesterday and today. Did not practice.
Yeah, I'm sure they would love to be able to get this game tonight with him being a little bit under the weather.
Offensive foul on Houston. That's 4 on Maxwell.
You're going to see the back screen on Malone right there. And Malone got his arm up and sort of made it look like Maxwell was hooking him. That's a veteran play.
Now the veteran wants to get inside to Otis Thorpe, and he's going to be called for holding also.
He's going to call a double foul on both Thorpe and Malone.
That's right.
We have a double foul, double personal foul.
And it'll be sideline out of bounds. Well, you rarely see that. See double technicals, you rarely see the double fouls. Malone with a wry smile. That's Malone's first, by the way.
Picks up his first.
A lot of contact down there. I think Joey just said, I'm going to clean up this post play. I'm not going to let it get too rough. So I think the double foul actually occurred before we really got a clean look on the replay.
Spencer gets it down so low nobody could get to him. Olajuwon was away from the basket that time and had no chance to defend him. That's the biggest lead of the game for Utah. 60-46, 8 minutes to go, third quarter. Kenny Smith knocks down the three, his first of this game and his first points.
That's his first good look, and he hops into that three we talked about. He said, I learned that from Dale Ellis, hopping right into that three, and also Ricky Pierce, the way they like to shoot it.
Hornacek answers for Utah. The battle of the threes, Houston 4, Utah 3.
Now remember, game 1, Houston plus 30 from 3. Game 2, plus 15. Tonight, plus 3.
Olajuwon misses, but he was fouled. Mario Elie has joined Kenny Smith at the guard position for Houston as Maxwell picked up his fourth. That's the second on Felton Spencer. And Olajuwon goes to the free throw line. Hakeem with 14 points tonight from the free throw line. He is 2 for 4.
Now, Bob, it's interesting. Can you imagine what golf would be like if a putter had to putt into this end zone right here?
That reminds me of playing golf with you. It's about that tough.
No, I just take the pin and swing it over your head while we make a little. Sounds like a helicopter.
Oh, when you grow up, I think you should become an adult, don't you think?
Yeah, I don't want to do that though.
Not yet. Jazz by 12, 7:30 to go in the third. He really does that.
Good golf etiquette.
Felton Spencer with the pick and roll. Stockton to Malone from the corner, and Carl has 11. So now the big men starting to heat up since both of them started very slowly in the first quarter. 16 points for Olajuwon and 11 for Karl Malone.
Jazz doing a real nice job. Benoit came down on the baseline, and it looked like a clear path to the basket for Hakeem, but the double team is coming baseline side. Hakeem with his 4th turnover tonight.
Kenny Smith called for the personal as he tries to guard Stockton, and the whistles come quick and often here from Crawford, Madden, and Nice. Timeout on the floor. Jazz up by 14.
The NBA playoffs on TNT are brought to you by Chevrolet Trucks, the most dependable, longest-lasting trucks on the road. And by Dutch Boy. Give your home the lasting look of Dutch Boy.
Okay, I'll take early memories for 500.
Hot dog day.
Recess on the monkey bars. Teacher's pet.
Miss Gallagher.
Baseball cards. Five and dime.
Slingshots.
Heads. Incredible edibles.
X-ray specs.
Those sea monkeys with the crown. And those were brine shrimp.
Hey, chemistry sets. Rock'em Sock'em Robots.
Easy Bake Ovens.
Beechwood aged Budweiser. Crisp, clean, classic.
You beat it up, weigh it down, push it around, and it never asks for a day off. You expect that from a Chevy truck. And when it comes time to sell your Chevy, it'll keep on giving with the highest resale value of any full-size pickup. So you not only get more for your dollar, you get more back. From Chevrolet, the most dependable, longest-lasting trucks on the road.
Playoff thrill, spills, and chills.
Look out, it's on line.
I want the inside stuff.
Then meet a mailman on a special delivery. Utah's Karl Malone works to deliver an NBA title. Who is this year's most valuable player? Cast your vote and get the inside stuff. Saturday.
Now that's the inside stuff.
The Jazz lead by 14. Bob, they've gone to a high screen role play here, and they've scored the last 2 possessions. And Stockton starts to go, and we stop it right here. Here's Mario Elie. He's got to help on the penetration. When he does, you're going to see the kick out to Hornacek for the three-point shot. The help, the pitch out for the three-point shot. They come down the floor. The next time they run the same play, Elie doesn't have help out. Stockton turns the corner and finds Malone on the other side of the floor. They're going to go right back to the play once again.
There's the three-point story we told you about just a moment ago. Jazz by 14. Benoit from long range. With the rebound. Kenny Smith all the way. Misses it. Olajuwon gets the rebound and puts it back in. He has 18. Jazz by 12.
Jazz must keep attacking, get into their quick hitting offense and execute.
Otis Thorpe just had a big bear hug on Karl Malone as Madden steps between them. That battle is serious down on the baseline.
Well, you know, you think of Otis Thorpe, what he's seen in the playoffs. He's seen Buck Williams and Cliff Robinson in Portland. He's seen Charles Barkley from Phoenix, and now he's seeing Karl Malone. So this guy is not a guy that you're going to read a lot about in the headlines, but what an important part of the game he is with his defense on the power forwards.
Malone gets a screen down there from Hornacek, but Mario Elie stepped up, did a nice job.
Oh, my God.
Double punches, sliding, slithering, and scoring.
Bob, he came from the three-point line, caught it at the foul line without a dribble, and laid the ball up in the basket.
Karl Malone, 5 assists.
Well, sometimes when your shooting's not going, just your presence out there and the double teams you draw will free open people.
Olajuwon muscling it inside, and the foul, the push.
That's the third on Felton Spencer. We talked about the importance of him staying out of foul trouble. He only had 1 in the first half, so he's got 2 quick ones here. Had he gotten 2 in the first half, he would have probably had to sit down right now.
Yeah, big difference. He had 4 at this point in the game in game 2.
Yes, and because of that, his minutes were limited.
Olajuwon struggling from the line and the field tonight. He's really only scoring inside. Hakeem is 4 of 7 from the free throw line. Not to excuse for him, but he does have the sprained ligament. The middle finger of the shooting hand. He misses both of those. Benoit, so quick. Misses the jam. Fencer.
Boy, Benoit is flying up the wing. We saw 3 of them in the first half. We saw an explosive drive to the basket the last time, and watch Benoit take off. You know, when we talked to Jerry Sloan tonight, I said, you know, Jerry, I've always felt that Benoit was an important part of your team. And I remember back the playoff series against the Clippers a couple years ago when he really took off, and they ended up trading Blue Edwards. And he said, you know, interestingly in that series, he had so much success at the 4 position of the power forward. He's now playing the 3 spot, and sometimes he gets lost playing those smaller, quicker players. So he really needs to work on that phase of his game. He's an explosive talent.
He's a 4 player with a 3 body, 6'8" at 215. 69-53 Utah, 5:36 remaining in the third quarter. That's the biggest lead of the game, a lead of 16 points. The foul, by the way, was on Olajuwon. Ori tries the baseline to no avail. Benoit already down on the baseline.
Here he goes again. This is the David Benoit show.
6 for 8 tonight. Benoit has 14. Timeout, Houston.
Coming this fall, Sunday Night NFL on TNT.
It seems these days folks are taking a new look at their priorities. With that in mind, Chevy brings you the roomiest full-size pickup ever made, so that family can come first and work second. The extended cab from Chevrolet. Chevy, the most dependable, longest-lasting trucks on the road.
You know you need life insurance to protect the family you love. We know the way things go, it's hard to find the money to pay the premiums. You know you've got to do it, and we know we can help you. So if you need $25,000 to $1 million or more of quality life insurance protection, call today, 800-421-2000 for this free information package. Garden State Life may be able to save you as much as 50% off what you're paying for term life insurance protection. Call 800-421-2000, toll free.
Make your money work harder than ever. Call now for your free Wall Street Journal guide to understanding money and investing. It focuses on financial markets so you can make informed choices. Call now to get your guide free when you subscribe to the Wall Street Journal, where you'll find information you need to get ahead. Get 10 weeks of the journal for just $36 and the guide to understanding money and investing free with your paid subscription. Call toll-free 800-421-2000. That's 800-421-2000.
We talk about John Stockton being the point guard, the first team All-NBA. Here's one of the reasons.
Well, I'm going to talk to you about the eyes of a quarterback. Look at Stockton's eyes. His head is going and his eyes are going this way. And we're going to roll it forward. And he keeps looking. His vision is this way. And all he's doing as he's looking this way is setting you up to go that way. That's what a quarterback is all about. You keep your interceptions low. You keep your touchdowns high. And Benoit is scoring a lot of touchdowns tonight.
Benoit scored the last 6 Utah points. Stockton 9 assists, 5 this quarter to go with his 13. And only 1 turnover. Olajuwon just swarmed down there. Ellie with the penetration. Tough play, won't fall. Bodies and the ball go everywhere.
See, the one thing you don't want to do against Ellie, and this is what the Jazz did the other night. They overran him at the three-point line. He really does not want to take that shot. So when they go to him, they must go low and play his right hand so that he can't get into the lane.
First 2 games, he had scored a total of 32, Smith and Ellie. Tonight, 3 between them, and that's a three-pointer from Kenny Smith.
See, the one thing that Houston has done in this playoff series is they've always found 2 of their 4 guards to get it done. Tonight, they're struggling to get 2 of them to get it done.
Kenny Smith with the drive. He misses the layup. Spencer loses it out of bounds. 4:41 to go, third quarter. Jazz up by 18 points, their biggest lead of the game.
Hakeem Olajuwon just told Kenny Smith, I want the ball. Get me the basketball. Let's see if they throw it to him.
Ori from 18. Ooh, got the shooter's bounce. Speaking of that, Doug, Kenny Smith is 1 for 5 and only 1 assist.
That's how series change. How that shot doesn't go quite as easily.
Malone is thrown down. Look out, this could be flagrant. Let's just wait a moment. Joey Crawford with the call. That's 4 on Thorpe. He just threw Karl Malone to the floor. Karl's shaking his head, and Jerry Sloan wants a flagrant call there. So far, none coming. Take a look at this.
See, I believe this has got to be a flagrant foul, and I tell you why. It's because this leads to other things. Malone is not going to take that from Thorpe.
Right.
It's a very good officiating crew, and this is how tempers get escalated. And see, he just throws him down right there and made no attempt to play the ball. Otis Thorpe is a very tough player. You have an 18 or 16-point game. If you start feeling it slipping away from you, a play like that can make things get ugly. Let's see if the officials really call it closely over the next couple minutes so that that can't occur.
Thorpe sits down. Earl Curitan comes in. Curitan, Ori, and Olajuwon up front for Houston with Smith and Ellie in the backcourt. And Karl Malone has 13 points and 11 rebounds. And Otis Thorpe has 1 takedown.
First thing we've seen in the series, Malone playing Olajuwon with Spencer out. Chambers is going to play Curitan.
Olajuwon has the size advantage, of course, on Karl Malone. Malone does not historically play Hakeem Olajuwon well defensively.
Because Hakeem keeps the ball up high. David Robinson brings it down. You bring it down, a smaller player can play a taller player. Olajuwon keeps it up, so when Malone starts to strip at it, there's nothing to strip at, and that time he gets the foul.
Let's check Malone's fouls. That's the second on Malone. Spencer has 3. As Hakeem now looking for his 20th point. Finding it.
The Jazz right now are on pace to score over 100 points. In the first 2 games, we know that they struggled to do that. They had 99 in Game 2, and in Game 1, only 88. So they're on pace now to get up into the hundreds, which would bode well for them here at home.
Olajuwon nearly had the steal and caused it by his defense on Hornacek. Way out in front to Ellie. Missed it. Follow Curitan. Nice play by the Doug Collins former teammate, and he played for you too.
Well, you know what? I was kidding Earl Curitan. I said, Earl, you thought they were going to bring you in here to watch this game. I said, now all of a sudden with the injuries, you've got to play.
15 minutes, 6 rebounds in Game 2. Now he's trying to play Malone.
Yeah, good luck.
Malone misses it. Saved by Humphries. Thought about the 3. Jay Humphries, Benoit, Hornacek, Tom Chambers, and Malone now playing for Utah. 14-point Jazz lead. They've had a lead of as many as 18.
That's a nice job by Curitan. See where he's got Malone posting where they can take a real tough shot here as the clock winds down.
3 seconds. Hornacek, the runner, spun in and out of there. Follow Benoit.
What's he
Wave it off. Wave it off.
He's going to call grasping the ring.
Yes, he is. He had his hand on the rim. Is what Jack Madden is telling Joey Crawford. They're discussing it right now.
Question is it a technical foul? If you grasp the cylinder, is he going to take the basket away and give it a technical, or is he just going to take the basket away?
Here it is.
Let's watch Benoit. Watch his hand. Right there. Boy, that was close. I don't think he grasped it. I think he looked to do it, and he pulled his hand back.
What they'll often call on that, they're going to say it's a technical. They are saying it is a technical.
It looked like he was going to grasp it, but I don't think he did, Bob. I think, let's watch here again. Let's watch to see if he grabs it with his left hand.
He just slipped it over there, pretty close. I don't think he ever closed his fist around it. Remember, we do have the value of the replay, and it's down to a 13-point game now. We'll have it jumped at center court.
That call is normally made if a guy goes up and grasps it, and it helps him get to the ball. Right. That really did not help him at all. He made contact, but I did not think he grabbed the cylinder or grabbed the basket.
Well, it's a 1 point for Houston. They'll have to jump it at center court, though, because that happened before Houston had control of the ball. 2:56 to go in the third quarter. Now Houston does have control of the ball, and the Rockets have scored 5 straight points. Olajuwon slipped inside. Chambers was holding him.
That's a mismatch right there, and that's nothing against Tom Chambers, but he's not a center, and Jerry Sloan is just buying some time right now to get Felton Spencer some rest. Remember in the first half when Chambers switched to Olajuwon, he had 2 quick field goals.
Yes, he did, and really kind of got him off. But till then, Olajuwon was struggling.
He was 0 for 8.
73-61 now, the lead back to 12 after the Jazz had built it to 18. And we have 2:46 to go in the third period. Malone with the rebound. That's 13.
Hakeem now 13 for 13 from the line in Game 2. Tonight 7 for 12, so he's missed 5 free throws here tonight. They were 32 for 34 as a team the other night.
Malone trying to battle through the red wall down on the baseline. They'll call a foul on Curry. Earl Curitan in his 10th year to the University of Detroit.
How about the college team he played on? John Long, Terry Durod, Earl Curitan, and Terry Tyler, all NBA players. And I think Dickie V was the coach of that team. So
it's still only won
pretty good
3 games. Didn't they win 3 games?
No.
Isn't that it? Isn't that what got Dickie V out of the broadcast?
That was from the Pistons, not the UD.
Yeah, by the way, when we say Dickie V, we do mean Vital, not Versace.
Our Dickie V had...
Our Dickie V's trying to call us.
That's who he had.
And he won 4 or 5. Now, they also went to the NCAA. I better be careful there. I want to get everybody mad. We have 2:22 to go, third quarter. Jazz by 13. Ellie kicks to Curitan. To Cassell. 5 to shoot. Ellie.
See, he really does not want to take that three-pointer. He wants to drive it.
Curitan saved it to Hornacek. Humphries behind the back. Hornacek. Rebound. Earl Curitan. He has 4 already. I told you. Game 2, 15 minutes, 6 rebounds. Here tonight, he's played about 3 minutes, and he has 4 already. Olajuwon. Rebound, David Benoit.
Well, we said to start the telecast, if Utah was going to win, they were going to have to rebound better. They've done that. Their turnovers have been limited in the first half. 4 turnovers for no points. And Olajuwon has struggled shooting. So 3 of the 4 things they've wanted to work has done that, and they've stayed close in the battle of the three-point shot.
Hornacek penetrates, kicks it to Malone. Not happening for Carl. That was at the buzzer. Would have counted 3 on none. Cassell defended himself to lay it in with the hoop, but Benoit fouled him anyway, so Sam Cassell will go back to the free throw line with 6 points in this game, and Benoit gets his first personal. Matt Bullard with an infrequent appearance in this playoff series, about to check in for the Houston Rockets. There's the free throw disparity in game 2 and tonight. Look at that. But who thought the 94% would stay there?
Well, in the series, Houston shooting 85%, 44 for 52, and you said, how did they win the first 2 games? I mean, they shoot 42% from 3, and they have 15 field goal differential there. They shoot 47% from 2. Olajuwon shoots 62%, and as his free throws are shooting 85% as a team. That's pretty hard to beat.
Sam Cassell is 5 out of 6 from the line. Loose ball foul is going to be on Earl Curitan. It's a 12-point lead, Utah, with 1:11 to go in the third quarter. Both teams in the penalties, so we'll walk down and shoot it. It was 12 points at the half.
And Tom Chambers is playing in his 101st playoff game. That is the most playoff games among current active players who have never been on an NBA championship team. That is a courtesy of Marty Aronoff.
The man is amazing.
He never stops.
Marty, by the way, is the only one. Marty has, I think, 105 playoff games.
That's this week.
Jazz by 13. Tom Chambers in his 13th year. And showing signs of wear and tear, as anybody would, playing in this league. He's 13th. 34 years old. Went to Utah, by the way. Matt Bullard. Fouled out here at the arc.
Well, it's an interesting lineup. You see that Rudy T's got on the floor. He's trying to give Hakeem a little bit of a rest here. So he only misses about 1.5 minutes action, so he's going to get the timeout at the quarter. He'll probably come back with him to start the fourth period, but you've got Bullard, Ellie, Cassell, Horry, and Earl Curitan, basically one starter on the floor, and that's Robert Horry.
Matt Bullard's from Iowa. This is his 4th year, 6'10". Kenny Smith sitting on the bench getting some rest. He needs it tonight. He struggled, only 4 points and only 1 assist. Jazz by 12. That's how this period started with under a minute to go in the third. For Malone. Can't find him. They'll try again. 5 to shoot. Benoit with 2. Loses it.
Ran away from the three-point shot to try to get a better one, and the good defense by the Rockets just standing the ground, so incidental contact really forced that ball loose.
7-second difference in the shot and game clock.
Watch Bullard now shooting the three. Cassell's going to shoot it instead, and he gets it, so that's a big shot. That puts him under 10 points, a 9-point lead now, so psychologically the deficit now in single digits.
With 5 seconds to go in the quarter, Sam Cassell has 10 points in the game. Much better performance tonight. And Ellie had to grab Hornacek with 9/10 of a second left in the quarter.
See, you see the versatility of Jeff Hornacek. When Stockton goes out of the game, he actually goes over and plays as a point guard. Humphries then plays as a 2. Last year, without that situation, Humphries had to play as a backup point guard, and Jay Humphries really a scorer, so Hornacek gives him a better ball handler to go with Humphries to take advantage of both of their skills. This is one of the reasons they wanted to get him, as well as his three-point shooting. But in this series, Houston is really blanketing him out there at the line.
Hornacek has 14 points to go with 6 assists and 4 rebounds. And the man they traded it for him from Philadelphia, Jeff Malone, is in the building tonight. As Philadelphia's been on vacation for a long time. 9/10 of a second remaining in the period. Hornacek, of course, knocks them both down. And Hornacek takes the final shot of the period. He may as well. Jazz by 11, so the Rockets knife into that lead by 1 point. Benoit was the man in the third quarter. Exciting young player from Alabama.
June, the NBA Draft. August, Dream Team 2 at the World Championship of Basketball. And this fall, Sunday night NFL on TNT. When it's big-time sports, TNT comes to play.
From Turner Network Television, the adventure, the mystery, the legend. Amelia Earhart, The Final Flight, a major new motion picture from TNT, coming in June.
Here's the Chevy S Series in color. Here it is in black and white. The new Chevy S Series. Everything else is history.
GI Fridays has me on these fresh cut greens to promote their fresh cut greens, like delicious grilled chicken Caesar salad, fresh greens loaded with charbroiled chicken. Whose idea was this?
Everyone looks forward to Fridays.
Braun Flex Control, the first electric shaver with a pivoting head. It automatically adjusts to every contour of your face. Flex Control from Braun. Braun, the last word in shavers.
The versatile Ricoh touchscreen copier. For those impressed by its remarkable brain, consider the body. Precision engineered for heavy duty and high volume, Ricoh's obsession with reliability and performance in a whole new class of machine. And the quality we put into it, you can get out of it right now. Because Ricoh's touchscreen copiers are not only more productive, they're also more affordable. The name to know, Ricoh.
Our final 12 minutes of playoff coverage on TNT for 1994 before we hand it over to our esteemed colleagues at NBC who will carry you the rest of the way with NBA playoffs. And the scoring by quarter is thus.
Well, you see the Jazz +5 and then +7, so they're +12 at half, and basically an even quarter. Houston outscores them by 1, so in good position here, up 11 with 12 minutes to play.
Maxwell back in. It's Maxwell, Ellie, and Cassell with Elijah Wan and Thorpe. 3-guard lineup for Houston. Cassell finds the penetration, dishes with 4 to Thorpe. Rebound Panthers. Stockton back in. He is sandwiched between Olajuwon and Ellie. Call Ellie for the foul.
Personal foul committed by number 17, Mario Ellie. Is forced. Houston's forced.
That's the first on Mario. Spencer back in the game.
Replacing Tom
Chambers will sit down.
See, with Olajuwon coming back into the game, Jerry Sloan does not want him to get started here in the fourth quarter, so he immediately comes back with Felton Spencer. Now, interestingly enough, Olajuwon is now guarding Karl Malone. They moved Thorpe over to Spencer because Thorpe has 4 fouls.
Olajuwon with Malone inside. Olajuwon caused him to miss that one, but not the second one, as Karl Malone now has 16 points and 15 rebounds. Blocked by Spencer. Off Thorpe. Utah ball leading by 13.
Mario Ellie, there's just no place to go in there tonight. Utah's doing a much better job guarding the dribbler tonight. They got themselves in trouble with penetration. It's done a wonderful job with their three-point defense tonight. Only 5 3-point field goals made by the Rockets tonight.
Down to Malone again. Defense by Olajuwon. The jump hook. That's 2 baskets in a row. Malone over Hakeem. Now, Olajuwon is only carrying 1 foul in the battle of those 2 superstars. Olajuwon 21 points, and Malone has 18 now.
I think that just the banging of Felton Spencer tonight is taking some of Olajuwon's legs away from him. He doesn't have that bouncy step that he had in Houston. And from moment 1, Felton Spencer's had his 275 pounds on Olajuwon wherever he's gone tonight.
That's 4 fouls on Spencer. Ellie stepped on the line, but Humphrey gets a long rebound. Corbin out, but Maxwell down very quickly. Ellie also bothered the shot. Houston got away with it there. Olajuwon to Cassell. He'll take the 3. Missed it.
This is what Utah was banking on, that they could not continue to fire the threes if the game were close or if they were behind, and tonight that's the case.
Houston 5 of 12 from 3-point line.
Humphrey's looking to post now on Maxwell.
Spencer in the paint. Ball on the floor. Olajuwon got a piece of that. Houston running 3 on 3. Maxwell will spot up for the 3. Spencer just took it from Thorpe and Cassell. What a game by Felton Spencer. Timeout on the floor. 82-67 Utah by 5. 9:28 to go in the game.
This is the showroom where we sell the most Ford trucks. It's called the real world, and the only salesman is the truck itself. In fact, our trucks have sold so many people on Ford, we have more repeat buyers than any other truck, which isn't surprising. Because at Ford, we've always figured that if you make a habit of building better trucks, people will make a habit of driving them. Ford F-Series. For 17 straight years, the best-selling trucks are built Ford tough.
This isn't some blazing spot on the equator. It's the Dutch Boy Paint Testing Facility, where we make sure our exterior house paints resist fading and peeling. It's one of 77 tests we do, so you can give your home the lasting look of Dutch Boy.
Blown Away. Rated R. Starts Friday, July 1st.
Enjoy history at the Basketball Hall of Fame.
Our Dutch boy in the paint. You see the big turnaround for Jazz rebounds. Olajuwon's numbers tonight. Credit Felton Spencer. What a game he has played to this point.
Well, minus 19 and plus 12. That's 31 differential. Felton Spencer on the last play goes to the basket, gets fouled, no call, gets knocked down, but does not stop playing. You see him right there. He gets knocked down. He's on the floor. We come the other way. The shot goes up. Felton Spencer's not even in the picture, and watch who comes up. He just takes the rebound away. That's the kind of night in the hustle and the energy plays that Rudy T was worried about.
Stockton to Tyrone Corbin. 14 on the clock. Down to Malone, being played by Elijah One. Stockton open. Rims the three out of there. Mario Ellie with the rebound. 15-point Jazz lead with 9 minutes to go in the game. Joey Crawford with a whistle down on the baseline, way away from the ball. It's on Spencer, and that's 5. That's big.
Again, the importance of him staying out of foul trouble in the first half by getting only 1 foul. He's committed 4 fouls this half, and he still has 1 more. So they'll try to buy some time now. It's a 15-point game. And then Jerry Sloan will bring him back if he feels like Elijah Wan's starting to make a move.
Elijah Wan has not been making moves since Spencer's been in there, but his chops are drooling with Tom Chambers trying to play. 10 to shoot. Maxwell loses the ball to Corbin. But the foul will be on Utah. It's on Humphreys, and that's his 3rd. Team foul situation here with under 9 minutes to go. 3 have been called on Utah, 2 on the Rockets. 8:48 remaining. Looking for Elijah Wan down on the post, but Corbin's backing in there, forcing King way away from the basket. Now they clear for the drive.
Good defense that time by Utah. Tom Chambers and the rest of the guys giving good help.
To Stockton. Elijah Wan only 7 for 20 shooting the ball. Several misses from down inside. 5 to shoot. Cassell.
Talk about energy plays.
Back to Chambers from Stockton. Corbin kept it alive. Tipped it to John Stockton, down to Chambers, and John has 11 assists.
That's what I'm talking about. When your comfort level and you're up 2-0, those plays go to the team that has to win the game.
Cassell with the drive and the dish to Elijah Wan. He'll also have an opportunity to shoot a free throw line and go to the free throw line. He has 23 points now, and that's 4 on Tom Chambers.
Cassell with an excellent penetrating drive, and again, no shot blockers back. Chambers gets in the way. But there's nothing he can do with Elijah Wan punctuating that with the slam dunk.
The free throw made here by Elijah Wan would cut the lead to 14. He is now 8 for 13 from the line after going 13 for 13 in game number 2.
Bob, remember we were at the hotel and I said we were talking about the game, and I said, you know, Elijah Wan is going to work himself to 30 points.
Yeah.
And that's what's going to happen. I mean, this is not going to be a pretty 30, but he's going to end up with 30 points because he's just going to keep relentlessly coming at you.
Good ball movement. Maxwell with the drive. Look at that double clutch. Doesn't get the fall. Thorpe. Offensive rebound. Now it's back to a 12-point lead with 7:19 to go. Remember Felton Spencer, who has really made the difference defensively for Utah tonight, on the bench with 5 fouls. Malone from 16. Carl has 20.
Elijah Wan's going to give him that shot because he does not want him to drive the ball past him, but Malone has taken his game out on the floor more this year. He can hit that shot.
Cassell with the penetration. 10 to shoot. They'll start it again.
See, Elijah Wan wants the ball again against Chambers. Ellie's going to settle for the 3. It's just not there.
Humphreys out to Stockton. 14-point Jazz lead.
Keep your eye on that man right there, Malone running the floor.
He thought about that too long. Cassell battles the ball away from Stockton, has it on the run.
4 guys back defensively for the Jazz, that possession. No place to go.
Houston has missed their last 4 3-pointers. You talk about the difficulty when you're trailing. It's just the confidence isn't there. Maxwell will try this one. That's 5 they've missed in a row. That's 6, but Cassell is fouled.
John Stockton.
And John Stockton will pick up the personal. He has 4. timeout called. We have 6:08 remaining in Game 3 of the Western Conference Finals. Houston leading in the series 2-0, but trailing by 14 here.
Headline News Sports Ticker updates basketball, so you'll always know the score.
Most golfers try to stay out of the rough, but in truck golf,
The rough! Yes!
there's no rough enough.
Excellent!
But don't venture out onto the course without one of these. A 1994 Ford Ranger 4x4.
Sweet!
Complete with push-button four-wheel drive, a wide, powerful stance, and a whopping 4-liter V6. Get a Ford Ranger 4x4 and get into the swing of truck golf. But remember, always replace your divots.
Critics are unanimous. They're calling The Crow the best movie of its kind since Batman. 4 stars. Brandon Lee is sensational, dazzling, and fiercely hypnotic. Brandon Lee, The Crow, rated R, now playing.
For his retirement, Neil McBain had no intention of slowing down. That's why Dean Witter mapped out his financial course with only one goal in mind: victory. Dean Witter.
We measure success, one investor at a time.
You know, at AutoZone, we know our customers work just as hard as we do. So we're open when they need us, at night and on Sundays. And since 2 million folks each week count on AutoZone for what they need when they need it, we're not about to let them down. That's why we carry so many parts and why we price them so low every day. You see, selling top quality parts at low prices every day is how we make a living. But helping customers, well, that's how we make friends.
Bob Neal, Doug Collins with you from the Delta Center. Jazz by 14 with just over 6 to go. You know, we were talking about Elijah Wan. Will probably get his 30, as you said, even if he has to work it. But Utah has made a difference in these other categories.
Well, you see the three-point differential tonight. They're 5 for 15. The Jazz 3 for 5, so 2 more threes is +6. But the turnovers, Rockets 10, Jazz only 8. Points off turnovers, Rockets only 7, so they've limited points off the turnovers. They've kept their turnovers to a limited. They're +11 rebounding. They've made Elijah Wan work for everything, and they've defended the three-point line. That's why they're up 14.
And Felton Spencer returns to the game carrying 5 fouls. Spencer tonight has only scored 4 points, but he's really been a difference inside, making Elijah Wan work so very hard for his points. Elijah Wan 7 for 20 from the field.
And he missed his first 8 shots, so he's heated it up a little bit, 7 for 12, but Felton Spencer got him off to a very cold start. I thought he frustrated him very much in the early going.
Spencer posted out very high, trying to get Thorpe out there to play him. 8 seconds to shoot for Utah. Screen and roll. Just a screen. No roll. Three-pointer. Humphries.
Now the three-point differential is +3 instead of +6, so little by little going down.
That's 4 three-pointers tonight for the Utah Jazz. 2 for Jay Humphries. Maxwell on the drive. Into the chest of Spencer. Shot is blocked. 5:25 to go. Jazz by 15. They've led by as many as 18. They have led all the way. Houston has never been in front in this game. 10 to shoot. Stockton hands to Malone. Elijah Wan comes down on it. That's 2 on Hakeem.
How did Stockton get the ball through there? He got in the lane, 3 guys left their feet. I had no idea. I guess when you play with a guy about 1,000 games, you just know he's going to be there.
Humphrey sits down to a big round of applause. 15 points tonight for Jay. 5 rebounds. He's got 2 three-pointers and 6 of 10 from the field. Big performance from Jay Humphries tonight.
Here's that high screen roll. If Maxwell helps, Hornacek will shoot a 3. If not, Stockton will shoot 1.
Lobs it to Spencer. Elijah Wan blocked it. Corbin gets the loose ball. The tip. Elijah Wan with it. And the foul in the backcourt. Let's see who it's on. It could be Malone. No, it's Spencer. He's out of there. That is Felton Spencer. He is gone with 4:49. But the question for Houston is, did he stay in long enough? The Jazz lead by 15. Spencer fouls out with 4 points, 7 rebounds, and 2 block shots.
and an unenviable and thankless task of playing against Olajuwon, because you'll look at the box score and you'll say, hey, Olajuwon had 30. But the guy is so good that if Spitzer was not playing him as well as he is tonight, he'd probably have 45. That's the capabilities this man has.
You saw the disparity in free throws, 8 for 14 tonight for Hakeem Olajuwon. It's a 15-point Jazz lead with 4:49 to go. Make it 14. And the next couple of minutes will determine this ball game.
You're going to see the Jazz use some clock. It's going to be a half-court trap, so they need to move the basketball.
Jazz playing with confidence. Lowry gets the Chambers miss.
That's what they want to do, though. They want to get them to take a quick shot. They trapped them, ran them out of their offense, enticed them into a quick shot, and Chambers missed it.
Horry, bad miss on the three. Corbin runs it down. Hornacek says, slow it down.
Here comes the trap once again.
And the steal. 3-on-2. Cassell. Fouled. It's on Stockton, which will be his 5th foul. 4 minutes to go in the game. Felton Spencer is fouled out.
See, what Rudy T knows right now is that the Jazz are going to come down and they're going to try to milk the clock. Stockton's going to have it. They're going to try to go into Malone. They're going to try to get to the free throw line. So in the last 2 possessions, he's shown some half-court trap. Quick shot by Chambers, missed. Turnover by Stockton. So look for them to stay into this until Utah is able to handle it and get a field goal.
Cassell, 8 out of 9 from the line, has 13 points, has played much better in Game 2 than he did in Game 1. And you see the difference here. The Jazz 10 percentage points better than the Houston Rockets in free throw shooting in this game. And it's been one of the differences. It's now a 12-point game. 4 minutes to go. Here's the trap. Into Malone. Throws up the prayer. Corbin with a big rebound. 8 on the shot clock. Remember, it didn't touch the rim. Traveling on Hornacek. Houston ball. A chance to cut the lead to 10 with 3:47 to go. Timeout, Houston.
Looked like a leg whip there brought Hornacek down. He tried to step through the double team, and one of the Rockets accidentally tripped him. So a break for the Houston Rockets as they try to climb back into this game.
After years on the road, some small cars find themselves in a tight spot. But of all the small cars built in the past 12 years, more Escorts are still on the road than any other. And when you realize Ford Escort is a better small car value than its leading competition and offers 4 models for the same low price, it's easy to see how the competition stacks up. Ford Escort.
Is stripping old paint a pain in the elbow? Well, now you can power off old paint, stain, varnish, even rust with Easy Stripper. It literally eats old paint. Forget messy chemicals or changing sheets of sandpaper. Easy Stripper strips window frames and powers paint off siding. It's gentle enough to remove old varnish, yet it chews up thick, scaly rust in seconds. Yes, Easy Stripper powers off old paint and rust on contact. But there's more. Here's the driver. Now you can power in any screw in seconds. Monster screws like this, or tiny screws like this. Even screws above your head. Yes, when you order Easy Stripper to power off paint and rust, you also get the driver to power in any screw. Both tools for an incredible $19.95. Order now.
For rush delivery, call 1-800-421-2000 or send $19.95 plus $5.95 shipping to Easy Stripper Plus, P.O. Box 2666, Atlanta, Georgia, for your Easy Stripper and driver. Order now.
Jazz by 12, 3:47 to go. By the way, next time Doug and Hubie and I are together will be Indianapolis at the Hoosier Dome, 7:30 Eastern Time, June 29th. We'll cover the draft, both rounds in their entirety. Hoosier Dome in Indianapolis.
Watch now, Jeff Hornacek. He gets caught his leg in there with Robert Horry. And, you know, probably a good no call there. It looked like he was out of control going forward, and I think it was incidental contact. So, good no call that time by Jack Madden.
Olajuwon, triple team. Horry has it blocked by Malone. That was a big play. That would have cut the lead to 10.
Now Utah's got to do a better job against this trap. They got to spread the floor. Now they're matched up man-to-man. So look for Malone, and Stockton runs screen roll. Malone looking to get the shot to the low post.
Baseline, Ty Corbin missing, fourth rebound. 3:11 remaining. Houston only shooting 14% in this quarter. That's 26 for Olajuwon. He's going to get his 30.
Yeah, if he gets you locked up on that high side, they bring that ball baseline, it's going to be 2 points. I don't matter who's playing it.
Got Malone out at the high post now as they move this ball around a little bit better against the trap. 7 to shoot. Chambers missing Thorpe. Houston can cut it to 8 or less as the Rockets have scored 5 straight with 2:33 to go. Horry looks for the 3.
No way.
Kept alive.
Those threes just aren't there tonight.
Cassell, what a penetration move. Didn't get the lay-in, didn't finish. Malone rebound. Houston has missed their last 7 3-point shot attempts.
Utah has really struggled against this trap. They have not gotten a good shot the last 5 times down the floor. The one thing that saved them is that Houston has not been able to cash in on the other end.
Horry called for the personal. See Rudy Tomjanovich flanked on his right by trainer Ray Melchiori, on the left by Carol Dawson, assistant coach. Now 2 minutes to go in this ball game. The Jazz are already shooting free throws from the penalty, and the Rockets, now it's all 5. So they'll both be shooting all the way this final tournament. Sam Cassell picked up number 4.
See, Stockton's such a smart player. He realized that they're now over the limit, so he sort of baited Cassell into fouling him. Bumped him, bodied him a little bit. Cassell got upset. He put his forearm into him, and he got the foul. So Stockton now at the line, needing these 2 free throws to sort of break this little drought that the Utah Jazz are now in.
First free throw miss of the game for John. He's 4 out of 5 with 13 points, 11 assists. We're going to get a timeout called here by Houston. Jazz by 10, 2:03 to go. Utah has not scored in the last 3 minutes and 45 seconds.
Parenthood 101, don't play with your food.
It's always fun until somebody gets hurt.
You're gonna put somebody's eye out.
Go blind.
Don't make me turn this car around.
Cross your eyes, they'll stay that way.
When I was your age,
If I have to come up there one more time.
As long as you live under this roof. I suppose if everyone jumped off a bridge, you'd jump too.
Because I
said so.
Beechwood Aged Budweiser. Crisp, clean, classic.
A new wind is rising, bringing change. Bringing the all-new Ford Windstar. A totally new minivan. Windstar is the only minivan that meets all passenger car safety standards. And has dual airbags, 5-mile-an-hour bumpers, and 4-wheel anti-lock brakes standard. Safety that takes the minivan in a whole new direction. The all-new front-wheel drive Ford Windstar. The future of minivans begins today.
This is the last straw. In case you missed the symbolism, TGI Fridays has me in a garden to remind you of their garden fresh salads. Like Cajun fried chicken salad, fresh greens piled high with crisp and spicy Cajun chicken. Or Cobb salad, turkey, bacon, and avocado heaped over fresh tossed greens. If my agent only had a brain.
Everyone looks forward to Fridays.
Jazz by 10, just over 2 minutes to go right after this. Inside the NBA, Fred Hickman and Mike Glenn. As they look at that Knicks-Pacers series, the NBA draft preview tonight featuring the shooting guards coming out and a recap of the NBA season inside the NBA right after this telecast tonight. That's 2 minutes, 3 seconds of basketball away.
You know, one thing we need to talk about is the Jazz defense throughout the playoffs. Their opponents in 13 games averaging under 94 points a game, shooting under 43%. So they got locked into 2 defensive series against San Antonio and Denver as Stockton misses both free throws. And that has continued now to this Houston Rockets series. They have played exceptional defense tonight.
Rockets still have a shot here. 10-point lead, 2 minutes to go. Olajuwon, jump hook.
Oh, it was knocked off the rim. Now who got it?
That's going to be counted as a basket. So count the basket, and it is now an 8-point game, 89-81, 1:45 to go. Kenny Smith and Maxwell back in at the guards with Olajuwon, Orienthorpe, Malone. Out here to Hornacek. Look at the ball fake. What a play by Hornacek.
Boy, did he freeze the defender by the little fake.
Looking back to Olajuwon. Illegal defense is the call. Hakeem is carrying 29 points, and here's the ball fake by Jeff.
Watch the fake right there. He freezes Olajuwon and then goes right to the basket. What a beautiful play by Hornacek. As they'll show it, take it back, and keep going.
Be a technical free throw because it was a second call against Utah, and Kenny Smith will shoot it. Jazz by 10, 1:27 to go.
Well, it's been a tough night for Kenny Smith. He's got 1 3-point field goal. He's 1 for 5 from the field, has 4 points.
Houston does get the ball back. Looking for the 3. Maxwell. Nothing. It was touched by Utah to be Houston ball.
They've missed their last 8 3-point shots now, so this is what that Utah had banked on, that they just could not continue to shoot the ball like this. Remember, 18 for 43 going into tonight's game for 42%.
Maxwell in the quick curl on the baseline, and it is an 8-point game once again with 1:19 to go. Malone. This is it. No fall. Well, actually, he fell. No fall. He did fall. No foul. How's that? Here's a 3.
Well, had that gone, it's a 5-point game.
9 straight threes have been missed. Chambers with the jam. And that'll about do it. 53 seconds to go. The cherry on the sundae.
10 straight.
Everybody on their feet. This was a desperation game for Utah. They would have gone down 3-0, but now it's 2-1. And Utah will play here again this weekend. Malone! It's all over. Houston has only shot 35% from the field tonight. The Rockets have scored only 83, make it 86. As Vernon Maxwell gets the 3. Vernon has 3 of them tonight and 17 points, but it's too little too late. Five seconds to go, and we'll just run it out. And the Utah Jazz now trail 2 games to 1 with a 95-86 win here at the Delta Center. Utah led all the way. Karl Malone feeling ill, missing practice, sprained ankle. Nevertheless, he stepped in here and led this team tonight and is our Budweiser player of the game with 22 points, 16 rebounds, 5 assists. Budweiser donates $1,000 on behalf of Karl Malone to the United Negro College Fund. Karl Malone has joined us tableside, and Karl, first question for you is, as you get some hydration in the big body, first question is I know you missed practice, you've been feeling bad. How did you feel physically during this game?
Well, I can never really get my legs under me or whatever. I've been had a stomach virus or something, but as I kept playing, I started to get my legs back, and that's why I really wanted to come to practice this morning to really get up and do something, because I've been in the bed the whole time. But it's a time now of the year where you can't really make excuses, and I hope I don't hurt my team by just being out here trying to help them or whatever, because I definitely don't want to watch. But I said going into it, I wouldn't have any excuses if I played bad or whatever. But I tried to stay with it. My teammates kept encouraging me to keep shooting the basketball, and things started to come for me down the end. And that's what it's all about now. It's playoff time.
What was the difference in this game tonight for Utah?
Well, I can't say enough for Felton Spencer. I think he set this stage early by making Olajuwon take some tough shots. He got his points. We knew that. But in the first half, when they got on the roll on us in Houston, Olajuwon set the tone. And I think Felton did a heck of a job pushing him out of his spots. He got his 31, but he had to earn them. But I think Felton did a heck of a job. And I think as a whole, the team really got up and helped each other. And we just hung in there, and we believe that we can win. And that's the main thing.
You know, Carl, when they talked about the game beforehand, first of all, in game one, points off turnovers hurt you. And the three-point shooting and Olajuwon. You made the adjustment. You came back. You shot the ball well. You limited your points off turnovers. Then rebounding. They out-rebounded you by 19. Tonight, they missed 10 straight threes. You win the battle of the boards. Felton Spencer makes Olajuwon work. He still gets his 30. But it seems like you're pecking away in certain areas that you have to win.
Well, I think the thing about it right now, I think our main thing is everybody was asking us in Houston, how do we feel about being down 0-2? Our whole thing right now is just to keep believing that we can win. And we came back in our place tonight, and we got off to a good start. I didn't get off to a great start, but my teammate just kept telling me to hang in there, and I kept trying to get things going. But the whole thing about it is anytime you can push them off the spots that they like, you're going to have a better chance on winning. And you got to play physical with them. Seems like in the playoffs right now, the team that play the most physical is the team to get away with a little bit more because it's playoffs, it's the Western Conference Finals. But I still want to say what kind of job Felton Spencer, David Benoit, and Jay Humphries did. They did a heck of a job for us tonight.
Carl, we want to congratulate you and wish you well as you go along, and thanks for all the moments you've given us on TNT this year. We appreciate it.
Well, I think we've got more national attention so far this year than we got my whole life. And I want to thank TNT for the job you guys have done for us. We think we know you guys by the first name now, so we appreciate that.
Thanks.
I want to say hi to my mom and everybody back in Louisiana, and Dr. Bundrick, Mr. Moore. How you guys?
We'll let you do that. You're too big to say no, okay?
All right, thank you.
Karl Malone, our player of the game, not feeling well, sore ankle, no excuses from him, though. His Utah Jazz, 95-86. This series is now Houston 2, Utah 1. Doug and I will be back here to wrap it up from the Delta Center right after this.
Headline News Sports Ticker updates basketball, so you'll always know.